Sure.
We ain't never late.
You guys are never late? That's
we ain't
good.
never gonna
Never
be
late.
late.
We usually early, but we ain't never late.
Okay.
Well, we're pushing it close with everything, new setup.
And we're live. We are live.
So
we're
we're
never
on
late up in this
YouTube
bitch.
as well as Facebook.
We are YouTube, Facebook, Twitter,
Twitter too?
Yeah,
Twitch.
Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.
What is Twitch?
It's kind of like the biggest video streaming app that there is.
Okay.
And it's mostly for video games. There's
Got
other
it.
stuff on it, but it's mostly video games.
Okay.
But we're a podcast on there, so why not? We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Y'all gonna blow up.
Man.
Don't forget about me.
Don't you forget about us. We're gonna need legal representation.
Family law, probate, and personal injury.
Boom.
That's all I'm doing.
Boom.
He always has the good music.
So like family law. So like if I got like a dispute with like my cousin,
as far as what?
like let's say we got a land dispute.
That's not.
No, that's
I
not
mean,
family.
y'all related, so y'all family,
Okay.
but no, that would probably
so-
be some type of real estate or contract dispute.
Okay.
So family law is like divorces,
Divorce.
custody, child support,
Okay.
alimony, but all
Okay, I
the.
got you. That is different.
Hey y'all. Good evening.
I forgot we was live.
Now, if they want to hear everything that you are hearing in the headphones,
Yeah.
they need to come over to either my page or Method Podcast page so they can hear everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they just want to see your beautiful face and hear your voice.
They
and
probably
they can
want
do that
both.
too.
Yeah.
Not
They
just
won't
both.
hear what we hear in our headphones.
Okay, so if you guys want to hear everything, you need to go over to YouTube.
No,
YouTube,
Facebook. Right there on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Everyone
Twitter,
doesn't. Well,
or
these
Twitch.
people are on Facebook. So
Yeah, just search
Facebook,
A Method Podcast
A
on
Method
any of those
Podcast.
platforms, and
I'm actually
on
going to tag you in it right now. So if they just go to your page and refresh in a second.
yeah, but I have to approve it. So
Oh, that's right.
yeah, I don't let anybody just tag me and stuff.
it's
Well,
understandable.
I mean, you're on the podcast.
So what that mean?
I'm gonna tag you anyway. You can just search.
No, you can tag
Oh,
me,
okay.
but I'm saying they won't see it until I
that
approve it.
shit,
And
that shit is
I can't.
blocked. Yours is like that too. Well, yeah,
I
can't
gotta
tag
approve
Jay
posts.
either.
It don't even make sense.
I'm not that popular.
That is
Everybody
super
can post
clear.
me
I'm not
anywhere.
as. Oh, it is
I love
really
it.
clear.
I love it.
Who is that girl on there?
Just
I'm
in case y'all
single,
ain't know.
y'all.
Just in case y'all ain't know, we got another camera up in this bitch, and also Shamika is single. So,
Absolutely.
I believe Jay is single as well. I'm
Jay.
the not single in the room.
The not
I
correct.
ain't talking about it right now. I mean, I'm single, but I'm focused on other things at the moment. 1 second. Y'all, if y'all coming in early on Method Podcast, y'all know we give it about 5 minutes for people to come on in before we actually get started with everything. I am sharing now to the group and sharing to my page.
Which group?
The whitelist.
Oh, okay. The group that you're required to post every 90 days. That group.
That's right. The bare minimum. The bare minimum.
This is so close. We haven't started yet.
We starting in 1 minute.
I'm just gonna use the apple juice I got. That's what I
Yeah.
got it for. That's
I can take it home now.
yeah, it's
I'll
yours.
drink the apple juice.
That is your apple juice.
So I don't have my SD card. So everything has to go through and work on there. So we have a power outage. We just have to start it back up on there.
I'm
And
on
that
the
shit-
Method
and that shit
Podcast,
happens.
Natalie.
Happened-
So it's-
I only
So-
have one.
So Natalie
it's in
just
Jesus'
commented and
hands.
said I'm on the Method Podcast. She's jealous, so it sounds like you need to invite her.
Hey,
He asked me, so I said, sure, why not? Now, don't be asking me nothing
Absolutely.
crazy now.
I need
Oh,
you.
I-
I
we
need
can't
you.
guarantee
Look,
that.
This is a nasty.
You ain't
well,
gotta
a nasty
answer.
podcast, but we keep it real.
Look. You ain't
Okay.
gotta answer
Keep it
nothing. I
real.
mean, obviously, but we gonna ask.
So y'all know I got an image and a brand to protect.
I
Absolutely.
mean, you ain't got to get down and dirty with us, but we don't need political answers though.
I'll be transparent. You don't have to worry
All
about
right.
that.
You be as honest and safe as
I'm
you can.
very
be
honest.
safe for sure.
Yeah, be honest and
I'm
safe.
very honest.
Sometimes we won't even tell people's names or whatever because people don't want to be exposed like that, which is understandable.
Hey, if
Yeah.
y'all in here right now, share the live for us. We are starting in 20 seconds. 20 seconds. So grab your drink, grab your blunt, whatever you do, your edibles that you do inside the house. Do it so you feel good.
Grab what
Vibe out with this for the next
enhance
hour and a half.
your Wednesday, and then roll with us. We're gonna try to enhance it even further. It's about to be a good talk. What are we talking about?
Don't
What
walk
are we
away.
talking about?
Let's do it, man. Start it up.
All right.
Welcome to a Method Podcast. I'm Jay Noetic.
I'm Remy Mulatto.
I bring the content.
I bring the chaos.
And with that, we believe the best way to have truthful
Just
conversations.
to have mostly everyone talking honestly over drinks.
And that there's what we call a motherfucking method. Hey, welcome back to another episode, man. We feeling good. We feeling right. We about to give y'all a great topic.
Feeling good. Feeling real good.
Feeling real
Feeling
good.
really good.
Feeling real good. We have a guest with us again, like we do every week, just for y'all. We try to mix it up for y'all. Shamika,
Yes,
T ask you.
that's right. Don't forget the T.
Say hello
The T is for tenacious.
to the tenacious. I like it. Say hello to the method heads.
No, for real. Hey, you guys, how are you doing? Hope y'all having a great night or evening.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. What
It's
we
hump
drink?
day, you know. Usually hump day is better than most days.
You know what? Wednesdays have become days I enjoy. I
Good.
used to not like Wednesdays. But
Really?
now that, because it's like the middle of the week, nothing to do.
Yeah.
You thinking about Friday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, but now I do the podcast for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wednesdays
like-
are dope now. Wednesdays are
So
better.
even though we go back and forth, what are we drinking on tonight?
I'm sipping on a little Glenfiddich, 12 years aged.
Glenn
Which I
Fittich.
don't know what that means. That's just what it's
Start calling you
Oh,
Ed
okay.
That's just what the
Wow.
bottle say. I don't.
Like he's well versed.
Yeah, I can just read. I can just read the bottle.
That's good.
That's what the bottle say. So
I have some Moscato.
Some
Hey,
Moscato.
Yes.
Clink,
Is
clink
it
to
the pink Moscato?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all good. We are definitely going to interview Shamika here later in the episode. But like we always do, Remy, I think we should kick this method movie off. What do you say?
Let's do it.
That's not what I wanted.
Jay Noetic on the sounds.
Did it already go through? The banner for it?
Banner went through.
All right, that's what's up. Hey, man, method movie. What we always do is to kick it off. I'm going to play a clip from a movie, and these two need to know or guess it before one another, and they need to guess it before you, but you obviously want to guess it before them. And yes, I am on the sounds. If y'all don't know this, man, we do everything ourselves. We don't have a sound guy. We don't have a engineer. Remy's the one operating on the laptop, giving y'all the banners and everything. And I'm
Yeah.
operating sounds.
I'm the cameraman.
We doing everything.
We're doing a lot of things at once, like giving y'all a dope ass podcast,
Yeah.
talking about dope shit, and also running the show at the same time. That's wild. It's a live,
That's
it's a
a lot.
video. We're gonna be on Spotify. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so here we go. This movie came out, and it's a fairly recent movie.
Mm.
All right, I'll give you one hint. It came out in 2018. What movie is this?
You've reached the Colorado Springs chapter of the Ku Klux Klan. Please leave a message, and God bless white America.
Hello, this is Ron Stallworth calling.
I know what this is.
I saw your advertisement in the Colorado Springs Gazette. I'm interested in receiving some reading materials from you. My phone number is 103-9994.
Who know what it is?
Very much looking forward to
Know
you
what it is,
returning my
Shamika?
call.
I do not. I'm not a movie watcher.
No.
No.
Remy said he knows what it is. Don't guess it yet. Don't guess it yet.
Ed got it.
That's not what it's called, though. It's not called American Clans, man.
Yeah, who's this?
Ron Stallworth here.
It's called
This is
Black
Walter.
Klansman.
Returning your call
That is right. It's called Black
from the organization.
Black Cat.
The
Black
organization.
Klansman.
That's right.
We're gonna let the clip
Appreciate your
finish out real
interest.
quick. This part is funny.
Yeah.
What's your
the-
story?
The camera froze.
I'll come back.
Well, since you asked, I hate niggers.
See?
I hate Jews.
Maybe
Spicks
it'll come
and
back.
nicks. Dagos and chinks. But
You don't
my
wanna-
mouth
you
to
don't wanna
God's
exit
ears,
out
I
of it,
really
though.
hate those niggerettes. And anyone else really that doesn't have pure white Aryan blood running through their veins. My sister, Pamela.
Let's see.
She was just recently accosted by one of.
All right.
Maybe I should try.
Is it frozen on the screen though? Let me see.
Somebody in the comments told me it was frozen.
All right, then I guess we're gonna have to unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah.
I wonder why it froze though. All right, so we're still here, y'all. Y'all still can hear us. We're still here. Our camera froze up though, so we're trying to get the camera back.
That's not the right camera.
We don't want that one. Go back into settings. Camera. We'll try it again.
All right.
All right. So that is the Black Klansman. It came out in 2018. Do y'all remember? You never heard of the Black Klansman, Shamika?
I have, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good movie.
I'm not really big into movies, but I'll check it out.
It's got my man from well, I say my man from, but it's the dude from Tenet, right?
Yeah, it's actually
Tenet.
John David Washington.
John David Washington.
You know what that is, right? You know who John David Washington is?
Denzel Washington, baby
It's
boy.
Denzel Washington's son.
His baby
Come on,
boy.
Shamika.
I'm
And if you watch certain movies with him in it, like he's in this toxic ass movie on Netflix with Zendaya, and they're in a relationship or whatever, and he brings out a lot of like that Denzel energy in that movie.
Okay.
'Cause the whole movie is just a relationship argument for like
Jesus.
a whole night.
What's it called? Oh yeah.
I can't remember the name of the movie.
I don't remember the name of that one. But Black Klansman is a Spike Lee joint. After the
can see
movie,
that.
I felt really conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had some tears in my eyes when I did it, when I watched it.
Oh wow.
So I do recommend y'all watching the Black Klansman if you haven't seen it. It is based on true events, but of course some things are dramatized. So this was probably close to the last movie I watched that was close to Black Trauma Entertainment. That's what I call it, Black Trauma Entertainment.
Black Trauma Entertainment.
You know, where they show
Jeez.
black trauma
BTE.
from being slaves and being
Mhm.
beaten and being hung. And I stopped watching this stuff back in like 2018. I don't even watch video clips that get posted of us
So-
dying or stuff like. I just
About
can't
like
do it anymore.
slavery, any kind of black suffering.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore. So do y'all still
Yeah.
watch movies like that in general? No judgment. Like I don't care, but I'm just asking.
I wouldn't care if you cared, but
From-
no, I'm not really big into.
I like that
movies
energy.
that.
It really depends on like where it's coming from, I guess. Like I like Django. I thought Django was dope. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Django was dope. I did
Yeah.
like Django. I guess that's true.
Now what I didn't watch Harriet.
No,
just
I
didn't
didn't
watch
watch.
it.
I didn't watch Harriet.
I didn't see Selma. You know that? I never saw
Yeah.
Selma.
Is it Selma?
Selma,
Selma.
Yeah, that was good.
yeah.
But I don't
see
see Django as I guess for me, I think about historical.
period.
It is time
It
period.
It is.
I mean, it's fantasy though.
It's fantasy. It's
obviously-
not real.
fantasy.
Yeah, I guess they try to add some kind of history
Yeah.
into it or whatnot. So shout out to the method heads who got it right. Shamika did not get it right, but she said she don't watch movies like that. But
I
that's
don't
that's-
feel bad.
Daphne said Django made her mad as fuck.
it was damn good though. All right. Well then, Remy, you got it 2 weeks in a row, man.
Nice.
Guess I got to go a little bit harder with trying to trick you, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, then let's go ahead and move into the Method Weekly because we got some stuff we want to talk about in the Method Weekly.
Let's talk about it.
All right, Method Weekly, man. So we have a special holiday coming up here this Sunday.
A wonderful holiday that only became a holiday last year.
Last year.
It's crazy. Had to get a pandemic before we got our holiday.
Yeah, I'm
What the
still
Right.
working on my reparations.
Oh
now.
man.
So we're talking about Juneteenth. I'm gonna play a little video clip really quickly, and let me talk about it. Still not
My
frozen.
name is Marcia Chatlin. I'm a professor of history and African American studies at Georgetown University. I'm a historian of African American life and culture. Juneteenth is a commemoration holiday of June 19th, 1865, when a group of African Americans in Galveston, Texas, received the news that they indeed were free. President Lincoln had signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, but news of the end of slavery in Texas had not traveled to this community until 1865. Since then, Juneteenth has been a day of commemoration of the struggle against slavery and a celebration of freedom.
So let me ask y'all a question, because I didn't learn about Juneteenth in Virginia.
Mhm.
Virginia's a very conservative country, was not taught in schools. I didn't really know about Juneteenth until much later in life. Did y'all know about Juneteenth? Or if not, when did you finally learn about Juneteenth?
I learned about it, I think it was like 2018, 2019, but it wasn't a trend, right? People weren't talking about it.
It wasn't common.
Yeah.
I feel like once the George Floyd incident occurred,
Yeah,
that's when we really started digging deep and trying to figure out, like, who are we? Like, I'm really interested in history now, our history. I mean, going back to Mansa Musa and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is it fair to say that like George Floyd's death was the causation for Juneteenth to be a holiday?
I think George Floyd's
That was
death was
20
probably the
2020.
icing on the cake that tilted it over, because if you remember, that's still around the time that Trump was in office and we had a lot of shit happening. And I think it was just a accumulation of all of it that put it in the news.
I think so think about what was different about George Floyd too. Like that was one of the ones where I think most of the country agreed, like black people and white people. Like we were all like,
Something
that cop
switched.
was the worst.
Yeah, something
did.
switched.
And
on George
that had
Floyd's.
never really happened before.
I think they got a visual of it, what we've
Yeah.
been talking about for so
Yeah.
long, you know?
That, and then
To
like
see
the other
it,
two
it
that
was
happened
different.
around the same time, the Ahmaud Arbery, that shit was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy to think about the fact that slavery ended 2 years prior to Juneteenth, the actual day that Texas was told they can no longer have slaves.
hmm
Could you imagine being a slave and not knowing that you've
You're
been free
free.
for 2 years?
I'd
And
be
not-
I couldn't
pissed.
imagine that.
Can't do anything about it,
Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed.
right?
I mean, I feel like I feel you owed something for slavery, but if you also worked, that's like being at work and working another like 20 hours that week and you didn't get paid. You know what I mean? Like
For the whole
like,
year.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. So like, nah, y'all gonna give me my money.
Plus,
Or just it's like being in jail.
Yeah.
Being in jail
I mean,
for a
that's what
crime you
slavery
didn't
is,
commit.
are we really free though?
That's what slavery.
I
is.
mean, we're not free, but we're not slaves in that sense. But I mean, we are slaves to a point to society. How we overwork ourselves, how we grind ourselves out.
Capitalism.
Extreme capitalism.
Capitalism is not to say that it's a form of slavery, because at its roots it is slavery. But besides that, it's like capitalism is the reason that we live in that existence, and then socialism is the other side of that. But that comes with its own problems. That's a conversation for another day. We dabbled in that a little bit last week when we talked about this versus that, and we talked about socialism versus capitalism.
I just think the mindset of something is still there. And
Oh, for
unfortunately,
sure.
it
Oh, the
trickles
slavery
everywhere.
mindset.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Well,
Well,
like
we know the prison system is a
sure.
is a
I mean,
slavery system.
it is
Enslavement.
Yeah, it's the system, but like under current law. It's the
Yeah.
closest we can get to that under current law is the prison system.
Do y'all know who the
And it's
first
thriving?
who the first state was to make it a state holiday?
Hawaii.
Can we get like a geographical guess?
We got 50 choices.
North, south, east,
Michigan.
west. I know it wasn't Michigan.
It
wasn't
wasn't Florida.
It's
I
not.
know it
It's
wasn't
not the
Michigan.
East Coast.
Texas.
It is
Okay.
Texas.
It's
Oh,
Texas?
really?
Holy shit, it was
Texas.
Texas.
Texas was the
Wow.
first
Look at
state
Texas.
to
I'm
make it a
shocked.
state holiday in 1979. So think about it. It took 45 years.
But that makes sense because it was in Texas.
Yeah.
Like it happened in Texas. So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but
I'm just shocked.
would it
That
take
makes
45 years for the federal government to make it a national holiday?
Right,
though,
right.
After the fact?
So Juneteenth was a local Texas holiday for all
Yes.
intents and purposes and didn't become
Correct.
national
Federal
until
holiday.
last motherfucking year.
Mhm.
Real quick before we
Mhm.
move beyond that, does anybody know Florida's Emancipation Day?
Florida. It looked like it froze up again. I don't know why. All right, we have to check that out
I
later.
don't.
Florida's? No, I don't know Florida's.
What is it?
It is Friday, May 20th. May 20th. Well, so I'm sorry, 1865, May 20th.
1865, May 20th.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I guess it wasn't too far afterwards, right?
You know what it might be? You know how your other camera had the
Latency.
every so much time you got to hit a button thing?
Shouldn't be on
Maybe
the-
this
shouldn't be
has
on that
something like
webcam.
that. You know what I mean?
Shouldn't
Maybe it's
be.
something in the
We'll
setting.
have to play it around with it
Yeah.
later.
It looks
All right.
good to me.
It
It
just keeps freezing.
At least on our end. it
This is the first
freezes.
time we've used this camera.
Okay.
We didn't get to test it out, but it's okay. As long as they can hear
it
us
ain't
still.
me, y'all. It ain't
Yeah, as
me.
long as they can hear us, I can do all the
I think
editing
it's
and
you.
post edit.
I think you're freezing the whole
It ain't
goddamn.
me.
All right,
We
well.
ain't never had no freeze before you came.
You sound
cold
like a
out here.
Detroit. You
You
sound
so
like
cold.
you sound like a Detroit boy.
You brought that Detroit with you up in here. Come on, it's cold.
As long as y'all can still hear us, I can do all the editing and post edit to cut it out and everything.
Yeah, man, it's a podcast anyway. You
Yes,
know what I'm
that-
saying?
exactly.
It's all
This
in the
is-
vote.
The video is extra. The video is extra.
Yeah,
All right, man. Let's get into interviewing Miss Shamika T. Askew. That is the Method Weekly. I don't know what y'all doing for Juneteenth, man, but do something. I don't know what I'm doing either, but I'm definitely gonna try to find me a black ass event to
I'm
go
gonna
to.
be-
Well, you
I'm
gonna be in
at a
Atlanta.
black ass wedding. I'm gonna be at
Okay.
a black ass wedding for Juneteenth weekend.
Do you know if it's
I'm fucking
Juneteenth related?
excited. It is not. I don't think they knew that it was gonna be around Juneteenth when they set it up because their anniversary, I guess, is gonna be on the 18th, and then literally they'll have Juneteenth right after. So that's kind of dope for them,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's always an easy way to remember.
And I must say, I love black weddings. Like,
Aw,
like I've been to a lot of weddings, and one of the reasons why I feel like I have to have a wedding is because I love black weddings.
that's awesome. What do you love about it?
It's just so much fun. Like there's so much love in the room.
Mhm.
like I've been to white weddings also, and not to say that they don't love each other, but they don't love each other the way we love each other. And if everybody in the room is like on that like love
There's more passion.
way, it's just it's always dope. And for me, every wedding has been like a family reunion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's my shit.
I gotcha.
All right, man. So there's no banner for that. You don't have to worry about that. Just focus on comments.
Yeah.
So she's a family law attorney, personal law attorney, and she does probate. She's also a probate attorney here in the Tampa Bay, Florida area. She recently got approved to practice law in Michigan as well. She represents the fine sorority of
That's
AKA. Isn't that correct?
Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
And she is
That's
an
powerful.
alumni of Tennessee,
Yeah.
alumni of Tennessee State University. I'm talking about Shamika T. Askew.
Yes. Hey y'all.
Both from the D. Hey,
Oh, is she from the D?
Clings to the D.
Well, you say you're from Michigan. You're not
Now-
from Detroit, though. Are you
So
from Detroit?
I was waiting for somebody to come for me.
Because you
okay?
ain't really from Detroit, are
Well,
you?
first-
First of all,
Yeah.
I was born at Detroit Memorial
So
Hospital.
she from
Okay.
Detroit.
Okay.
And my mom moved me to Lansing when I was turning 10.
To,
Okay.
to where?
So you got like
Lansing.
you got 10
Okay.
years in Detroit, then is
Hello.
what you're saying.
So
Okay.
you do my biography. You got to put Detroit in there.
And I got about 14 and a half years in Detroit before I moved out of Detroit.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
why is Detroit the one that everyone wants to claim, though?
That's where we're from.
because
I mean,
Detroit is
why-
what's on the map.
But
in
it's
Michigan.
more than just Michigan than Detroit.
But
that-
Detroit
but
is
that
on the
literally
map.
I
is
know.
where I'm from. I mean, it's
Especially
east
if you
side
black.
of Detroit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Detroit was a black ass city. Like it had like a lot going on for black
And
folks.
and why try to take away who you are? You know what I mean?
100%.
I mean,
100%.
it's where I came from. My mom was on welfare. We were on Beaconsfield,
Detroit
on the
is-
east side.
And I mean, so I think like a lot of cities, especially in America, that city just comes with you in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you bring
There's
a lot,
pride.
like how she brought the freeze to the camera.
So
That's
you're saying I
Detroit.
should hold on to Frankfurt, Germany? I should hold on to Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
Anyway, it ain't about me. This is about
No, we
Shamika.
talking about
We
Tappahannock.
moving. No, we're not.
You brought
I was
Tappahannock.
born in Tappahannock, though.
Oh,
So how did a Michigan girl end up in Tampa, Florida?
So
This is a long story.
I'm gonna try to make it short because we don't have a lot of time.
I like the
know,
long
that's
version.
right.
So basically,
don't leave the good parts out. Don't leave out the juice.
I mean, I don't feel like the story is juicy, but
Okay.
whatever.
Right.
So basically, I was in our legal department for the state government, and I was miserable working for state government. I knew that I wanted to be an attorney. I had failed the bar exam several times over, and I was just like, you know what? It's time for a change. And at the time, I was married, and my ex-husband and I decided, let's just sell everything, move to Florida. And I knew Tampa was where I was supposed to be. Like, now that I look back, I really feel like my spirit was telling me, you need to be in Hillsborough County. I didn't know anybody here
Right.
at all, but something said Hillsborough County. So we just packed up everything and left.
So you came straight to here from
Michigan. Mhm.
Where,
And
Michigan?
So when we moved here, we moved from Novi, Michigan.
Novi.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I was in Oakland County.
Right on.
And how did you end up going to Tennessee State University? So how long did you go to school online while you were here, or you ended up going to Tennessee?
So I moved to Florida in 2014. So my Tennessee years was in 2006 to 2000 or 2002 to 2006.
Gotcha.
So right after high school, that's when I went to Tennessee State
Gotcha.
University.
Okay.
So I was 17 years old.
Okay.
My parents drove me down in a van. It was just three of us, and they dropped me off. My dad was like, "All right, girl, see you later."
Enjoy your life.
So yeah,
You
so,
grown now.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
it was a great experience. I knew TSU because when I got on the campus, kind of like the love you talked about with
Mhm.
family reunions and weddings, you could just feel that
It was
at
welcoming.
the school. It was like,
welcoming. Yeah.
and then you got to remember too, I'm from Detroit. My mom moved me to Lansing. So now I'm in the suburbs, and I really didn't feel like I belonged. I
Yeah.
feel like I lost my sense of identity.
Yeah.
So going back to Tennessee State University and HBCU,
Okay.
historically Black college and university, I just felt like I'm back to where I belong. I'm back to where I feel like I can wear my natural hair and be myself, you know?
That's one of those things that like I wish I had access to. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because when I went to when I
What
tried
the HBCU
to
experience?
to
Yeah.
have it in my head that I would go to an HBCU. Nobody
Yeah.
put that idea in my head. I went to like a school in the suburbs,
Mhm.
so nobody was there was really even talking about that type of thing, and my parents wasn't talking about it. So I just went to whatever fucking school I could find,
Yeah.
and it didn't work out. You know what I mean?
Got it.
But then years later, I was dating a girl that went to Howard,
Oh, nice.
and I was at Howard like every weekend for like
Okay.
a year straight, and I was like, "Yo, this is fucking dope."
Yeah.
like,
I mean-
like this is where I should have went right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get into wanting to become a lawyer though? So Tennessee State was prior to everything. You came
Mhm.
to Tampa and you decided that you wanted to become a lawyer. How did that
When I was a little girl, I was saying I was going to be a lawyer.
Mm,
I never liked injustice. So I had a family member who would treat other family members different.
Mm,
And as a little girl, I saw that.
right.
And I was like, I don't like that. Like, you need to treat everybody the same. And this
Yeah.
is
That's
like
a
my
trip.
elder, right?
Yeah.
So experiencing that as a little girl, I was just like, I want to change that. And then as I progressed as a young child, one of my family members got all of her kids taken away,
mhm.
my cousins. And I was like, where'd my cousins go? Like, what happened? I didn't understand it.
Right.
So all of those experiences kind of culminated and made me want to go to law school
I
and
like
become an attorney,
that. I like that.
to be that change.
Becoming an attorney, there's so many different avenues that you can go down though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so why did you choose family law over insurance?
My parents.
Insurance law or something. Okay.
My parents, they were, I love y'all, if y'all watching, they were toxic. Okay. I don't even
He was like, I got to get these families together.
I don't even understand how they were together.
Yeah.
Now they're cool. They have
Yeah.
a great relationship. But growing up, they were never married. They were in and out of court.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've never even shared this anywhere, but I got a DNA test when I was in my 20s.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't think they were your parents?
No, we knew, but
Oh.
family drama and things
Yeah.
like that. But I just say that to say all of my life experiences have pointed to family
Family
law.
law.
Right.
And I really feel like as a lawyer, I think about me as that little girl who was moved from Detroit to Lansing. So you got relocations and family law. So I'm always talking to parents like, I know, mom, this is what you want, but is this best for the child? Like,
Yeah.
child is leaving dad and everybody else, So I'm that little girl that's advocating, but as an adult, trying to get these parents to get it together for the sake of their kids.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about so much of this divorce stuff in this episode. I'm pretty sure. Does working so close to divorce cases or divorcees make you feel like you don't want to get married again?
Absolutely not.
No.
I look forward to getting married again. You want to know why?
Yeah, why? Tell me why. Tell the method heads why.
Because for me, it was a practice marriage. And they say practice makes perfect for me. So
we're talking about practice.
We're talking about practice.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I'm really one of those people where I'm an athlete, or I was back in the day.
Okay.
Right. So when you're an athlete, you're trying to figure out.
What's your sport?
So I used to play basketball and ran track.
Oh.
So you're always thinking about.
She ain't coming to the court yet.
Hooper.
She ain't come to the court yet. I've been trying to get her to the court. She ain't come to the court yet.
Now my dribbling is a little off. But I say that to say as an athlete.
But she gonna drop them buckets on you though.
She gonna
drop them buckets on your ass. Hey, don't leave her open. Don't. Hey, Steph Curry out here
with the pop boy.
All right.
But no, as an athlete, you're always looking for ways to improve.
Yeah.
So that's still my mentality.
Yeah.
So yeah, my marriage failed, but at the end of the day, I know what I did wrong. So my next husband, he gonna be like, "Where have you been all my life?"
She's saying she got the lessons.
Absolutely.
She got the lessons she needed from that.
You should get the lessons after any relationship, even if it's
that's what it be like.
But
too.
I didn't
have
a lot of relationships. Like I've only had that marriage and then like maybe 2 before that.
My first relationship was practically a marriage. It went 8 fucking years.
Wow, that's
and
a long
8 years
time.
with one motherfucker. You learn a lot about what you want, and you learn a lot about.
We ain't gonna talk about the fact that he was dating her for 8 years. We gonna let that slide to the left.
We'll talk about it one day. We'll talk about it one day, but not today.
No, we can talk about it. I was
not today.
Joke.
Today we're talking about Shamika.
T for tenacious.
So if you was to rap, you would rap Detroit, right? Or you be
you
like,
ain't ready for
like
my 16
Lansing.
bars.
Oh, you got bars too?
I got bars, okay?
You got
y'all
okay.
But y'all got
you know what? She is from Detroit. What am I thinking? I knew this. I knew you had bars.
I just play it. I don't have bars. I don't.
So while he's working on getting the camera back on check.
No, you may not have bars, but you passed the bar, right?
Hello.
Hey, I like that.
Damn, the camera fucked that one up.
So so recently you did a post on Facebook. I'm friends with everybody on Facebook.
Yes, you are. Everybody knows Jay.
Everybody
knows Jay.
Everybody think they know Jay.
Okay, I got you.
But you said transparency post. I absolutely love being a lawyer and could not imagine doing anything else in life. However, this year alone has been weighing heavily on my mental health.
Yes.
What has been the hardest thing about being a lawyer, and what did you do to help your mental health after that post?
The hardest thing about being a lawyer, honestly, I would have to say trying to still be me, being authentic to my clients and being personable, but knowing how to draw the line between that and being professional. Not to say that I'm unprofessional, but I love my clients. I really do. And when you put your heart and everything into that, relationship, that case, you're too connected with it. So you take things personally that has nothing to do with you. And I feel like when I made that post, I was up against so much. Like you're already fighting the opposing counsel.
Yeah.
That's expected.
Yeah.
Sometimes, the judge don't like you and you know it, and you gotta be smart about what you ask for. And then the worst part is the client's fighting you. It's like, I have to tell them, I'm on your team. We on the same team. Remember, I have an athlete mindset. So I have to remind some of them that I'm not the person you're at war with.
I think clients probably expect more than what you can deliver sometimes, maybe. I'm not a lawyer, but I would imagine that they want you to I want this.
They want everything.
And if you don't get it, it's
because they up against the system right now. They up against the government.
At the very beginning, for most of them, I tell them the likelihood of your success is probably not great, but I can look further into it because laws change. I mean, like just a couple of days ago, I looked and I'm like, oh, okay, I haven't looked at that because I haven't had that issue, but I see that that's changed since the last time I looked at it. But having said that, I try to set the expectation early on because I'm not Jesus. I
Right.
can't turn a mess into a miracle.
Feel you.
Okay.
Feel you.
Water and wine.
That's that question I wanted to ask was not on my list. That
Go
went
with it.
went
Just
away.
go with it. You know what I would have to say? I'm so proud of myself because I didn't ask you for no list. I just wanted to let it flow
Of
organically.
course.
So I was
But of
like,
course,
oh,
I got
that's so
questions,
nice
though.
that
I want you to be prepared.
I appreciate
you to be
that. But what I'm
prepared.
saying to
Yeah.
you is that that's growth for me because
Yes.
I always want to be over prepared versus just letting it naturally flow is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
So that's my own personal growth.
So we've had conversations in the past where maybe you didn't get the results you expected for your client, right? We just kind of touched on that
Mm-hmm.
and how it really tore you up inside because you are really like all about your clients. You're very empathetic. Like you want to make sure you get the best for your client. And sometimes if it doesn't happen the way they expect it,
Mm-hmm.
you feel some kind of way about it. So what lessons did you take away or have taken away from situations like that you use for the future?
I put 100% in. And if it doesn't go the way that we both expect, I can sleep at night. Even though I may be upset, I may be hurt, I know that I'm okay. Now, there are instances where I didn't get the result and I just filed my first appeal against the judge because I believe in what I believe in and I stand on the law. And if the law and the facts add up and it should be this way and you, judge, didn't do that, I'm not scared of y'all. I'm going to appeal you.
And I mean, the appeal is part of the process, right? Like, I'm not a lawyer.
Well,
but
you got to remember, it's political. So some people, they're afraid to kind of poke the bear because, you know, they're going to go back before that judge. But ultimately, for me, I'm an advocate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, judge, I respect you. I respect your opinion. I respect your ruling. But if you get it wrong, if I feel like you got it wrong,
I got to go around you.
I got to go to your boss.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I'm not afraid to appeal.
I got two more questions.
I wanted to answer your question.
Go ahead. I'm
the second
listening.
part.
Yeah.
You asked me in the question before, what did I do?
To get your mental health better.
Correct. I'm getting rid of anybody in my life that's not adding value. And it's causing me more chaos than peace.
That includes the men, that includes the family, that includes the clients, that includes your mama. No, I'm playing.
You literally no. You hit it on a nail.
She's like, exactly. 100%.
On the nail. Yes.
Sometimes you gotta do that.
Yes.
Because I'm not a business owner per se that makes a lot of money off of that. But I imagine when you have your own business, successful business, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. So the last thing you need are other people trying to pull on you and bringing you down.
They don't understand.
So, and what you're doing is family law. And depending on how much you invest yourself into this, it's almost like your family. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're fighting for your family in these situations when you get deep enough
Absolutely.
into it.
Like when my clients tell me about their kids, it's like, even though I don't have kids, I fight for them like they are my kids.
Right.
And so I have sometimes, and I've never had a man do this to me, but a couple of women have done it who never hired me. But they were like, oh, well, you don't have kids, so you don't understand. And I don't take it personally anymore.
You have no idea how many kids.
But, you know, I don't take it personally because at the end of the day, I'm like, you don't know, you just lost a good one. Because you go down the street, they ain't gonna care about you or your kids. You know what they want? They want that money.
Right.
So you go ahead and go down the street, girlfriend. You'll find out real quick.
God damn.
But yeah, so I take on a lot, but I'm trying to learn balance.
I mean,
That's the key to life, right?
You do exactly the opposite of what I do. I ain't trying to be in nobody's family drama, including my own. Like, all of these is y'all problems, and I got my problems, and I see y'all on the other side. I can't. But you like, hey, other families that are complete strangers to me. Let's do this.
Helping people.
Let's do this.
Sometimes you feel like
that's how my sister is, which is a beautiful thing to have.
Or if you feel like you're the glue that keeps everything together, it can be a lot of pressure. I gotta fix this. I gotta fix that.
And then a problem too is that I like being personable and I like being accessible. So I'm growing. And as I grow, most of my clients can't just reach me like they used to be able to. And so some of them, you know, I can tell they get a little attitude that I ain't available. I'm sending a voicemail because I'm with somebody else in a mediation or in court. So the great thing about starting my own is that I'm learning as I go.
Right.
I didn't have, you know, a father to teach me how to open a law firm and be a successful lawyer. I'm
Figure that
doing
shit
it
out.
from the ground up, literally.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I ain't starting no law firm.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
So my last
Yeah.
question I have is, that I forgot I wanted to ask is, what is something about divorces that people aren't aware of that they need to be aware of? Like, is there like something it just people get to you like, oh wow, I didn't expect that, or I didn't know I needed to do this, or I didn't know I needed to do that. Like, is it something that's like you can see a trend that happens and
it's not the answer you're gonna expect.
okay.
Everybody thinks that they're gonna come and control the process. And what they do not realize is that the moment they decide they're going to get a divorce is when they lose all control. You got the other lawyer on the other side who's playing a part in how this process works. You got the other spouse on the other side. You got me, you got the judge. So what I see that's common is that everybody wants to control the outcome and they don't have any control. So I tell people, you better buckle up because it's a process. It's a journey. And everybody expects it to be this way when it may not go the way you think.
That's why I ain't getting married.
Are you serious?
I'm saying, no, I'm playing.
Yeah, and that's why he asked you that. Because if you see that process often enough, are you gonna be like, all right, this is something I would be willing to have to go through.
You know what? So you got to remember, I'm in a different phase of my life now. So when I was married, I was in that toxic marriage.
Right.
So I thought everybody was like this.
Yeah.
Right now that I'm healthier and more whole, I don't want to deal with them toxic clients. I'm like, y'all should go the other way. Give me the people who just want peace.
Right.
Who's just like, okay,
Let's find some peace,
let's just do this. I'm not gonna fight. I mean, of course there's gonna be disagreement. Conflict comes with the territory, but I'm talking about the people who just fighting off the principle because they, I don't have the time, and you don't even got the money to be fighting off the principle.
I know that's
sir.
right. All that rambunctiousness, and you ain't even got the funds. You ever seen the movie A Marriage Story on Netflix? No.
She says she don't watch movies.
I'm not big into TV. I listen to music.
Okay, so that movie is starring Scarlett Johansson and the dude who was like baby Darth Vader in the new Star Wars movies. He was Kylo Ren. Y'all know who I'm talking about? Adam Driver. He got long hair. He was also in. All right. So anyway, these two people are in this marriage, and it's a happy marriage. Everything is great, but for some reason they got to get divorced. I think because he had to keep leaving because he works on film. He couldn't stay home. She felt lonely. Whatever. Things didn't work out. They had to get divorced, but they were good.
Okay.
They had no real problems.
Okay.
And then as soon as they started getting divorced, all of these problems started happening. Like they started to more or less hate each other in this process.
Wow.
Because that's just because I guess the story was that's the nature of like this tearing apart of souls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we put our souls together and now we're tearing it apart.
But it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
No, it doesn't. Like sometimes stuff just don't work out.
If you can accept things. But I don't know. Okay, here's my question for you before we move on. Do you feel like what happens during these proceedings is usually fair for both parties? It's tearing apart.
I would say no one wins in family law. I tell everybody
that's fine.
People call me and they're like, "What's your win and loss rate?" Man, nobody wins.
That's a
in
very
family
politically
law.
correct answer. So I'm gonna do a follow up.
Okay.
Do I get 10% that she gets, and the other 80% goes to the universe, but I get 10% and she get 10%?
So generally speaking, if there's no prenup involved, because some people do prenups and then they try to do away with the prenup that they signed. So that's a whole nother story. So if there's a prenup, more than likely the prenup is going to say who gets what.
Prenup is the best way to go. You recommend prenups.
So my next marriage, I'm definitely
gonna be a prenup.
Absolutely.
So definitely has a good question. What's the last question Daphne asked down there on the bottom? So if y'all listen to this in the pre-play or the after-play on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, whatever you listen to a Method Podcast, this is a live podcast initially every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. So we are interacting with our followers and our listeners and our viewers. Which is
man, we here talking to y'all. We all having a good time. Daphne said, how often do you send your clients to a therapist?
Oh, I love that question.
That's a good question.
I recommend it to mostly everybody.
It's like the first meeting. Soon as y'all meet up, you're like, so have y'all seen a therapist?
So here's the thing. I got to use my wisdom, right? Because not everybody can handle my forwardness.
Right.
So
You don't seem very forward to me.
Oh,
but
I'm real forward.
yeah.
So on Facebook, if you follow, I'm a different person.
It depends on your environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have to adjust.
I got you.
Depending on where
She
I am.
100%.
damn near cussed me out one night. I'm playing. I'm joking.
I will use some words
You're gonna be assertive.
every now and
And
then.
I'm gonna give it back. I'm playing.
Yeah.
That's the question.
But no,
That
but
Detroit should be a little wild sometimes.
it can be. But yes, I do recommend therapy a lot, but I have to use my wisdom because sometimes people are not ready to hear the truth.
100%.
So for me, I'm gonna give you the truth. Usually, if you ask me for it, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like they need to make it a requirement, if you ask me.
For getting
Before
a divorce.
so for any family law case, they gotta take a parenting class.
You're right.
That's typically required in all, whether it's a custody case or a divorce case. But I genuinely believe that people need to go to therapy because once
You need
you're
to be a
going through it,
judge.
I am going to be a
She
judge.
work-
She
You
working
know
to
that?
that. She
Yeah.
working to that.
Oh yeah, give me about 10, 15 years.
That's gonna be your law right there. You're gonna put that one in.
I need to because ultimately, and that's the legislature that I try to. We can work on that now. I don't need to be a judge. We can work on that now. But ultimately, you got people that are hurt that are walking around just spewing on everybody else.
Mhm.
When all you need to do is just go heal, sis.
Right.
Go heal, bro.
Yeah, just go sit your ass down somewhere.
You know. So yes, I love that question, Daphne.
All right. So where
I
can the method heads find you if they need a lawyer and your expertise of lawyering?
So I can be found on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Instagram at Askew Law Office. That's ASKEW Law Office. And then my website is also AskewLawOffice.com. And that's family law, personal injury, and probate.
Well, we have a deep conversation
Black
that's
on.
about to happen. We
Yes.
thank you for joining us. She is not going nowhere. We're about to get into this topic.
Uh-oh.
If y'all need her services, just reach out to her. She is good people.
Can I just throw something out there?
Of course.
Okay, so we talk
I'm
about
lying. She
judges.
can't. I'm joking.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. But really good judges are important. And so my mentor, he is running again. He has an opponent. So if anybody out there that lives in Hillsborough County, please vote for Judge Tibbles. Keep him on the bench. And I
All right.
also have two other judges that I recommend. Nancy Jacobs, she's also running, and then Star Lynette Brookins. But I believe her name will be on the ballot as Lynette Brookins. So
Thank you for that because I be looking at them names sometimes and I be like, you know what? Which
Exactly.
name do I like better?
Mm.
Anything.
I have no
So all
information.
your listeners, if they have a question about any of the judges, just have them reach out to me,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, and this is an election year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna be calling you real
Please,
soon.
please do.
Remy, let's get into the methods, man.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, we about to get into the shit now.
Oh, I'm scared. What are we doing?
No,
Y'all ain't tell me about this part.
it's really not that bad.
It ain't that bad.
Not
Ain't
that bad, Lord Jesus.
It ain't as bad as it was 2 weeks ago. That's for sure.
All right, y'all. Y'all know this song, right? We talking about
If based on the subject matter, this song is kind of toxic.
it's a little bit toxic. It's a
Right?
little toxic. So
It's a bop though, ain't it?
it's always
a bop before we had
It's
bop.
always a bop.
absolutely.
So we are talking about,
A back in the day bop.
do you walk away or don't you walk away? We are going to incorporate a lot of different topics. We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about marriage. We're going to talk about dating. We're going to talk about work, family. We're going to talk about as much as we can in the time that we have. Obviously, we can't talk about every damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
We are
We gonna go
limited
as
on
far
time.
as we can.
Y'all, how
When-
do I go live on Instagram? I ain't never went live.
Don't ask me that because I don't know.
Yeah.
Follow me on TikTok.
When is it time to take that shit and say fuck that shit? Like it's
Ooh,
not
child.
happening. I can't do it.
Is that what we starting with?
I mean, we can start wherever you want, man.
What was the question?
Hit that button.
When is it time? What?
When is it time to say fuck that shit? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so let's start small.
Mhm.
Let's say your first job.
Mhm.
Like, how long did it take you to quit your first job? When and did you quit at the right time? Should you have quit sooner? You know what I'm saying? Like the beginning.
I don't know if first jobs really count though, right? When you're 16,
Or you could
15,
even
and
say,
17,
like-
you quitting every motherfucking job. I applied for a job at McDonald's, got hired, and didn't show up.
No. But I have a story for this.
What's the story?
Okay.
So my very first job was me working at this company called Bellastino. They just sold sandwiches. It was a cool job. I didn't even get a chance to get to quit that job. I got fired. You know what I'm saying? My next job after that was at McDonald's, and that job fucking sucked. They had me standing in the drive-thru, washing dishes, and counting money for like
nobody likes
8 to 12 hours. No. Depending on where you work in McDonald's, the time will pass. But in this particular position, there was no time passing. So I was like, okay, these motherfuckers don't know what I'm capable of. I can't continue to work here. So I started working at the Pizza Hut next door and stopped going back to that job. And when I was working at a Pizza Hut, I was making pizzas and I was waiting tables and I was learning how to make tips. I was learning like a lot more about what I'm capable of.
I worked at Pizza Hut too for a while. It wasn't my first job though.
It was my third, but it was like where I learned. It was one of the places where I learned how to make money. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't able to just make money at McDonald's, but at Pizza Hut, if I went out there and I talked to these people and I figured out how to talk to them right, I could make money. You know what I mean? Like this is all
sales.
Yeah.
I think for me, what I learned in early jobs when to walk away to say fuck it is when like you get to the job and you the first day on and you're like, this job absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
Like you're just not going to want to do it. I remember working
like I'm not coming
working in Tappahannock, Virginia. I got hired to work at a lumber company. Right, and people don't believe Virginia gets cold.
Hold up, you used to be a
right. I was a lumberjack, motherfucker.
This nigga was a lumberjack.
I was a lumberjack.
Country thick ass Jay used to be a lumberjack in real life. In real life. Paul Bunyan ass.
Oh, Paul. I got oil Paul Bunyan oil. Anyway, so I met this lumber company, and they have me like the wood comes down on a conveyor belt, and it was my job to take this wood and flip it over to make sure it's on the right side so that it looks perfect or whatnot. It sucked. Okay. It was cold outside. I had a little shack that I stood in with a little heater. And that very first day I was like, bruh,
can't do this.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I think that at the end of the day is when it's like, just don't say it.
I picture that job for you was you just lifting a tree up and just just walking through the woods. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't keep doing this. It's some bullshit. I carry a whole tree in this bitch.
It wasn't like that. I just think if the job absolutely sucks, you gotta walk away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You right. The calves.
Yes.
Y'all a mess.
Oh shit.
When do you know when to walk away from this? This is not it. From a job.
The problem is that I usually stay longer than what I need.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
I'm like that too.
So the only job, well, actually 2 jobs I walked away from. It was a job when I left Michigan to move down here. I was like, all right, if I stay here, I'm never going to become a lawyer. So I had to pivot in order to take the risk to actually become the lawyer that I am today. So that was that job back in 2014. And then when I got here, I worked for an auditing firm. That was the job I hated the most. You hear me? I complain about that job every day. But when I tell you one thing, I think about that job now because that job was trying to teach me systems that I need to know in my business.
Yeah.
So it's a lesson in every job.
Man, switching, it's actually one of my questions I had written down. Switching careers can be a very scary experience, right? Because we get comfortable. Absolutely. Like in the position that we have, it's like, okay, I'm making this amount of money. I got this amount of bills, and if I leave this to try to do something else, it might not work out. Yeah. Right. That fear of trying to work out or to switch careers. Have y'all ever? You just said you did. You switched from one thing to another. But have you ever made a switch from one thing? Because right now you're in IT, but have you made a career switch from something that you were like kind of scared to do?
All of my changes in my life are always like pulling teeth. Except moving. I like to move a lot for some reason. Really? But besides moving, and every time I move, it's the hardest day of my life. That's why I hate it so much. But as far as switching a job, going to like a new job entirely, I don't know, something about it. Just, I hate it. And I don't do it until it's like, if I don't do this, I'm probably gonna fucking, I don't know, like this month is gonna be a problem or whatever. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah.
What's a feeling though? Like, let's say you're doing that job.
Mhm.
You say you absolutely hated a job every day.
I did.
Like, what's a feeling when you're doing a job that should tell you that I need to switch from what I'm currently doing? Because there's a lot of people talking about do I walk away or don't I walk away? Right?
Yeah.
When you're in a
When to
career,
walk
and you,
away.
and so what are some signs that?
I don't know.
So
Well,
Do you
for
know?
me, I knew I was doing something I wasn't called to do. So it was easy to transition. It was just I had to wait until the timing was right. So timing is everything.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, all right, now it's time to go. So once it was time to go, I said, because if I don't move now, I'm gonna be stuck here, and I don't want to be stuck.
That is true. That is.
So-
I'm gonna talk on that. I'm gonna piggyback on that because when I first moved here,
Mhm.
I was doing personal training. I had done personal training for like 10 years, and I had just turned 30. What's up?
That and chopping down trees with your
And
hands.
chopping down trees with my hands. Chop.
Ah.
And so, but I knew I was 30. I was tired of working every weekend.
Mhm.
I was tired of not having any real benefits. And I said, if I don't switch now,
Yep.
I'm going to be stuck here for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I end up switching completely into personal training, being super active to sitting behind a desk and
Wow.
That's a
being an
big flip.
admin.
Big
And
flip.
it was a big flip.
It's a
and-
big flip, but it's a dope flip.
It was a necessary.
Yeah.
It was a necessary flip. And I just felt like for me, so going back to what is a sign, like I dreaded going to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't happy about being at work all day long. I made excuses about trying to find a reason not to go.
Yeah.
You know?
And what was it about it that you didn't like? Like what was it that was like, I don't enjoy this?
I didn't enjoy it being micromanaged.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you were an employee.
Yeah, I was an employee. I didn't enjoy being micromanaged. I didn't enjoy the sales aspect of it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like I enjoyed the training. I didn't enjoy having to sell $50,000 a month of personal training.
I've
Wow.
always heard that like,
That's
and
a lot.
I rarely
We
go
hit it
to.
every month too.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
I
You gonna be
I
out
rarely-
there?
didn't see it. We didn't see
rarely
it.
go to gyms, but I've heard that like the people that work there can be aggressive about trying to get you to sign up for shit.
Oh, okay.
So that was you. You was in there like walking up on people like,
I was a
"What you
person
got on my 40, homie."
at one point I was, but I
Not
became the
40.
person training manager because I always believed in like I don't want to be at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I want to move up. Whatever I'm doing, I want to move up. So I became a personal training manager. So I went from having to sell as a trainer to having to push my trainers to sell. So we hit the sales goal. So I just feel like when you're absolutely miserable and you're making excuses about going to work or doing as little as possible, it's probably time for you to switch careers.
Absolutely.
So how did you know what to try instead? Like what
I
you
didn't.
just wanted to try?
I just knew I needed to get the fuck out.
Anything else?
I need to do anything else
But
than
that.
but
So
that.
so you started stripping for a
that.
little while.
Hey, back in the day, they call me Slick J. No,
For real?
No,
So
I'm
you-
just saying. I'm just saying. Lumberjack, and then you
Lumberjack
become
Jay.
a stripper, either a stripper or a fireman.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I did? I networked. That's what I
Okay.
did.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
a great
I
networker.
networked and I met people and
Yeah.
ended up becoming friends
And
with
you
somebody.
love people. At least that's what it seems.
I
like.
love people, but I don't enjoy customer service.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's move into a different part of when to walk away. Can either of you remember a time where you walked away from an intimate relationship, but you were so scared to do it, but did it anyway? If so, why were you scared?
Intimate relationship, you say?
Yeah. So I don't want to talk about just friendships. I'm gonna ask questions about friendships. So when I say intimate, I mean someone romantic, someone you were involved with for a long
Someone
time,
you were
8
having
motherfucking
sex
years. Someone you having sex with, someone you were married with, whatever, and you felt like you wanted to walk away, but you were scared to walk away,
But you walked away.
but you walked away. You remember a situation like that?
So I have two situations.
Tell them both.
So the first one was my high school / college boyfriend. We grew up together. You know, when you know somebody and you're comfortable, you don't want to change anything.
Yeah.
But I knew that I was going in a different direction than where he was going. And so
How long y'all together?
I met him when I was like 12, 13. And then we finally ended it, I want to say when I was like 19.
Okay.
Damn.
So yeah, so it was a while.
That's like your first relationship.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't really have a lot of relationships. But yeah, so I had to walk away because I was career driven and he wasn't. I think he's still to this day one of the smartest men that I've ever dated, even met. But I just knew that.
Yeah.
Let her tell stories. Stop asking questions.
I just want to say that's kind of a parallel to my situation, except I'm the dude in the situation. Like she's very career driven, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, and we both from Detroit. So, you know what I'm saying? So like, I've dated somebody like her. She's dated somebody like me back in the day.
You say you're not career driven, but you are. It's on a different level.
No. I am lucky. I'm a lucky motherfucker, and I've used the access that I've had in order to get to where I'm at.
That's good.
But career driven,
I feel you. Finish your story.
And then the second one was my marriage. So he technically walked away, but I actually filed to make it official. So, you know, sometimes you're dealt with cards that you didn't want to be dealt with that, you know, ultimately you probably should walk away. But for me, I feel like all my life I was told I gotta suffer. And it wasn't something my parents necessarily taught me. I really feel like it came from the church. Because, you know, they want you to give.
What she said,
you don't have nothing to give.
All my life.
All my life I had to fight.
So, yeah.
But were you scared? You said he walked away, though. Were you scared to walk away from it?
Absolutely, I was. Because, again, you're comfortable with it.
So how long was
my marriage?
Yeah.
So we got married in 2008. And then he left February of 2019. And then I filed in March.
Wow, that's a long time.
Over 10 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Wow,
So yeah, but really for me, the scariest part was the financial piece. Because remember, when you start a business, you ain't making bank like that. You know what I'm saying? You barely paying yourself. You're trying to invest in your business. So I wasn't really paying myself a lot of money. So I was terrified. I'm like, how am I going to provide? You know, I knew eventually I would be okay from the emotional standpoint because that was really already done away with from both of our perspectives. But the financial part was scary for me. But
yeah,
I'm good.
Before you ask the question, you got to answer. You got to answer the question.
Okay. What's the question?
Have you ever been in a situation where someone you're intimate with that you wanted to walk away, but you were scared to walk away, but did it anyway?
That's been every relationship of mine. I mean, I've been in, technically speaking, this is my fourth adult relationship. My first one having started at like 19. And that one went 8 years, you know what I'm saying? Which is like half my goddamn life.
Right.
And then
with that one though, who was the one decided to actually end it and walk away?
We broke up over some bullshit. Like I had just moved to Tampa, right? And I was coming to Tampa and I was coming out of like a rut. Like the biggest rut of my life at the time. Having been unemployed, didn't know what the fuck was going on, didn't know what I was going to do at that point. Unemployed for way too long, like completely uncomfortable. But I get me a job and I moved to Tampa and now I'm like, all right, I think I'm back on track. So you're not just gonna talk to me any kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're on the phone and we're having a conversation, and same arguments that we always have. Whereas in this instance, I'm like, I'm not gonna deal with you like that this time.
Yeah.
And so that fight kind of killed the relationship that day, and that was the end of it. Like it's that easy sometimes.
So for me,
and I'd say that's the issue with like long distance relationships.
I can't do long distance.
I don't do long distance.
I will not do long distance.
Can't do
you gotta
it.
be within 20-25 minutes away. Okay.
I ain't that bad. I need 45. I can do 45.
Yeah, she was the one that went to Howard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So for me, the one I can think about the most recently was my ex from 5.5 years ago. And I was scared to walk away because I felt like I was continuing to follow the same pattern over and over again. And I was trying to break that cycle. So I don't want to move. I don't want to break up. I want to try to make this work. I don't want to continue to be single but I was so miserable. I was so miserable, you know? And so I just made, after like having a serious sit down conversation with my ex about our issues, and her basically saying that she felt like I was the issue. I was the problem. That's when I knew it was just time for me to end it. Right. And so, but it was scary because I at that time felt like I was ready to move into the next phase of like living together and like this gonna be my person. We just had a few issues that we had to work through.
Level.
I mean, believe it or not, method heads, I am actually relationship material and I want a relationship. But at this point in my life, I want to get it right. Like I don't want to just be together,
right?
Life partner.
Okay.
That's where I'm at. It doesn't mean marriage. I mean, I'll get married, but that's not what it means for me.
Talking about that Will and Jada shit.
No, not the Will and Jada stuff.
I mean, they life partners.
Maybe.
They life partners.
Maybe. And then the second
it's complicated.
For you, yeah, not for me.
No, yeah,
it's complicated.
Everyone's different. Everyone's different.
She's like, no, they should get divorced.
Everyone's different.
Hey, and one of them could call me.
Everyone's
I'm
different.
just saying, it ain't my cup of tea.
Another time was, and sometimes you have to create distance in order to break up, right? And so when I moved from Virginia, I was going back and forth with this one woman. Like we would break up, get back together, break up, get back together. And I was like, I was scared to move away because I was like, if I move away, then I know it ain't gonna work. But I was just tired of it.
That's one thing I don't do. Once I'm done, I do not go back. No, I know what it's like.
Yeah,
I want to try something new now.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're living in a time where everyone walks away super easy or super quick. Do y'all feel that way as well or not? And if you do feel that way, what's the cause of it in your opinion? You need me to repeat the question?
To walk away easy?
I said, I feel like we're living in a time where everyone walks away super easy or super quick. Do y'all feel that way as well or not?
I think she just hit it on the head a little bit. Like when you feel like you got more access, you're not gonna sit around and wait for you're not gonna push the boundaries, I think, with this one thing. You know what I mean? Especially if it's something that you've dealt with before and you saw how it went before. No.
So you feel like people are quick to walk away?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, I think most people are. I'm not.
I do feel like people walk away more now because the way to meet people has evolved. And I can use myself as an example. If we weren't living in the online dating phase, I probably would have a boyfriend by now because we got too many options. At least I feel like I do. It's like, oh, okay, all right. So I want to.
Too many options is a bad thing. We did a whole podcast on that, on options.
I mean, I want to get it right too. So I need to explore. I need to interview. I mean, it's not too bad having too many applicants for a job.
I think it's. I don't think.
You scan a resume. Do they qualify? Okay, we're gonna take them to the next phase of the interview. If they don't, we vetting them.
I mean, you should vet, and I don't disagree. I mean, I typically would date multiple.
Your dating life sound like Squid Game. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Look, I'm cautious.
Understandable.
Okay? I'm very cautious.
Because you've dealt with enough bullshit that you like, I'm not dealing with no bullshit.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just decided that, okay, I am gonna remarry. Because I was about to just go to the sperm bank and just get my baby and call it a day. I'm serious. Yeah. But I was just like, no, that's just the fear in you. You're just afraid that it won't work. So
I think it's a different time.
It is.
Like this time I think is a bit unprecedented. Like we've never done this before.
Listen, man, I've been doing a 5-year bid out in these single streets. It's trash. It's and I used to never feel that way.
Wow.
Because I used to just be like, look, that's just a situation that is in, date different people and get a different result. Trust me, I've dated different types of women and it's all just a very different mindset.
Really?
And so I have found that it's better to, when you're in a casual dating space, which is what the space we're in, that we're experiencing right now, it's amazing. When I was casually dating, no issues.
Okay.
Perfect. But the moment you change your mindset of trying to find someone that you can build with and get into an actually exclusive relationship with, that has been trash.
Do men date exclusively?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
They do?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely. But I just feel like people, I feel like people are quick to walk away in relationships or in dating just because, again, they do think they have a lot of options. But I don't think people realize they don't have as many options as they really think they do. Either they just want to fuck, or they just bored, or they just want some attention. It's very few people who actually want you or want me or want whomever, right? They see that person, oh yeah, she cute, or he handsome.
Yeah, but that's part of the process to figure out what this person's intent is. We're not saying that everybody want us and that they want to marry us. We're saying we're dating to see what their intent is. Because if your intent isn't right, you can't have any space in my presence. Like, we're not gonna go to the next level. So we're not saying we got options like everybody want us. Come, I'm all that. No, we're saying, hey, when we were dating back in grade school, you met people at the track and field, or you met people at the football games. You met people, being out and about, but we're adults now. So where do you go to find people?
I mean, I go out in public and I meet people, but I do online dating too, though.
Oh yeah. Where do you go?
Maybe that's my problem. Because usually when I'm hanging out, it's always some event that I'm at. So if I do decide to do something that's like, okay, let's just do something for fun, I'm usually just at somebody's beach. Like, I don't smoke cigars, so I'm not going to go to the cigar lounge, even though I know men are there. Yeah. But I feel like it would be kind of
You ain't got to go to the cigar bar to smoke cigars.
I know, but I feel like I'll be awkward, like going like, oh, like, how are you doing? What am I supposed to do? Just go to the...
Have a drink, have some Moscato.
Honestly, nobody would be mad. I promise you.
Okay,
if you
maybe
were in there,
I'm going to try it then.
Yeah, if you could go in a cigar bar. You could go in a cigar bar and just sit at the bar.
Really?
I'm a cigar person. I go and women go in there.
Isn't it smoky?
It is smoky.
If it's outside.
I've been to one cigar bar when I tried dating this guy, and it wasn't too bad, but I felt like it was a man's cave. Yeah. I was the only woman there, and everybody was looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming back.
Where you trying to get chose at?
That doesn't matter to me.
No. I mean, as far as where would you like to be approached? Like, what environment do you find yourself in?
I will tell you that to really get to know Shamika, you need to have me outside of a professional environment.
Okay.
It can't be like if I'm at a dinner table, I'm just gonna be okay. It's gonna feel like an interview.
It can't be a place with rules. Like a work
formal,
or a table.
Formal settings feels too much like, okay, I got to be proper, right?
Yeah.
The best place to probably take me is something fun. Like, I'm an athlete still. Yeah. I still claim it, but I like sports. So take me to an arcade, because I'll whoop on you and you'll get to see the fun side. And it was actually this one guy that I met on Black on the dating app. He found that out very quickly about me. So he never took me out to eat. We always did stuff that was fun.
Right.
You got a different side. So
do some different type of dating for sure.
Like Dave and Buster's.
Yeah. Wesley Chapel.
When it comes to marriage, when, in your opinion, should someone walk away from the marriage? Obviously, there's more at stake than just dating. But so when you're in a marriage, you've gone through it. When do you feel like a person should actually walk away from the marriage?
That's a great.
Can I actually piggyback on that question?
No, you can answer the question first.
It's part of the question.
Okay.
Should there be an expiration date on marriage? I get to ask a lawyer now. I get to ask a lawyer who deals with these situations now.
I need you to answer the question.
Okay,
first.
What's the question?
The question is, when is it okay, in your opinion, for someone to walk away from a marriage? When should
10 years.
When should no?
After 10
not
years,
a time date.
automatic.
No, I'm asking for actions, like feelings, actions, things that's happening in
what
the
are
marriage.
They doing?
What is it's like? Okay, this is the time for me to walk away because this is whatever.
Okay, so the problem with that. Okay, so here's the thing. People, I don't think really change a whole lot, and if they do change, I don't think it's as noticeable. I think what really fucks with a marriage is those little old things that, like, in the beginning you were like, okay, this is kind of cute. Okay, this is kind of annoying. Okay, I don't really like when she do that. And then it snowballs into this huge, really annoying thing. Like, and what all that means is you've just tired of this individual. Like, we get tired of each other. You know what I mean? Especially when people live together. When you live with somebody, nobody talks about like the toll that living with somebody takes, but you get to know somebody in a way that, in a lot of ways that you don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to know these things about you. I don't want to know that you leave dishes in the sink all the fucking time. I don't know. I don't want to know that you cut your pubes in the bathroom and just leave them on the floor. I don't want to know this information about you, but I have to because I live with you now.
But that's not.
I'm saying living with somebody is part of what takes it to a place where it's like, okay, this is enough. I've had enough of being around you. I don't want to be around you anymore. So, I mean, to me, that's 10 years at least.
So my cousin commented, she said when there's abuse, and that is definitely
100%.
one of them.
100%.
And it's not, she didn't say what type of abuse, but I would say all of it, emotionally, physically, all of that. But for me, part of it is when it's no longer serving the purpose it was intended to serve. So a lot of times people come into the marriage to be happy. That's what I hear as a divorce lawyer.
To be happy.
That's what Mary J. Blige taught us.
But exactly. Yeah. So when they come to me as a client for a divorce, they're like, I'm not happy no more, so I'm ready to get a divorce. And I'm like, you got married to be happy.
Right.
You're getting divorced because you're not happy.
So what's the purpose of marriage?
So I really feel like your person needs to align with where you're going, what your vision, your purpose in life, because
so it's got to be about purpose, not necessarily happiness.
For me, it has to align, because like there are some people that don't jive well with what I like to do. I'm out in the community. I love community work. So if somebody had a problem with me being out in the community, that's not going to work for me.
Right.
I'm not about to be arguing with you about giving back to people.
Right.
I plan on being a philanthropist. If you don't want me giving money to anybody, like that's going to be a problem. So I need somebody who's out in the community too. I need someone who likes to give. I mean, it's levels to it, but
yeah. I mean, I feel like the purpose of a marriage and the purpose of a relationship is literally to get with a person that can help you be better in life. You want to be better in life. You want her to be better in life. You want to be better together. All the other stuff like making money and having a good job and all that can be taken away. Yeah. And so some people do get married or together for that. But I think at the end of the day, we get in relationships because we want to get with someone who's going to help us to have a better life.
Absolutely.
Right. So back to your question. Your question was, should marriage have an expiration date? I mean,
I think it should be like a contract. You know what I'm saying? We signed this year, the year of 2022. And then in 2032, we're going to come back and re-look at this because, 10 years is kind
honestly,
of
I feel like every relationship should have some type of evaluation process.
Hell.
I wouldn't necessarily put it in black and white to say a contract, though, because, hell, I might need to review the contract at year 2. Okay. So why put a time limit on it?
Yeah.
Because then at least you got to like, okay, it's been 10 years.
So I need to get beat up on
for
years. But I'm saying, you're saying
like
10 years though. Like
at 6 months.
Something can happen within that 10-year period.
That's true.
I gotta go.
I'm saying you should definitely re-examine it earlier, but 10 years max. And if you're not looking at it at 10 years, I think there's something wrong. I think you're on the verge of divorce.
You brought this up plenty of times in the past. And my question has always been, what's the difference from stopping someone who wants a divorce in year 1 versus year 10?
When
they want a divorce, they ready to go.
So this is what I said. If it's a 10-year contract, the things that come along with divorce, the monster that comes along with divorce is not there because the contract has expired. Yeah, but everybody don't do that. I'm saying this should be 100% with everybody because a lot of us don't know when it's time to leave. We don't fucking know.
I think we know, but we don't want to leave.
We're 100%
afraid to leave.
Yeah, we don't think somebody else will love us.
Yeah. So if it was written in the law 10 years, okay, now y'all got to do therapy and figure out if y'all still like each other. And if y'all don't, no, y'all are not married again. Y'all got to get married again. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to solve the world.
I hear you. I just think that
with
relationships, you should be evaluating where you are on a monthly basis, to be honest with you.
And then having a motherfucking conversation and communication with your partner, though.
Absolutely.
Like people are evaluating the relationships and not talking about it.
But it needs to be real and raw. Like, look, you're not.
Do we gotta be raw though?
Absolutely.
So y'all both got to be butt ass naked arguing. Because that's the rawest argument there is.
That's okay.
Butt ass naked arguing at 2:32 in the morning.
All I'm saying, you can deliver whatever you want to me and communicate however you want to me, But if you communicate to me raw and angry and
See,
bad
you take
delivery,
raw,
Okay.
that's
then
a-
we're gonna have a
So
problem. I
that's
ain't
a
hearing
negative
nothing.
connotation that
Define
you
your-
have, though.
I'm just
So
saying.
raw, what I'm talking about
It's
is like
real. It's the truth. I know what
exactly.
you mean.
So I've told one of my partners in the past that I want to step out because there's too many issues here. I
Mm.
didn't, but to me that was real and raw. Like
You want to
You
be able to be
wouldn't-
honest.
yes,
Yeah. I see what
And
you're
I don't think people in relationships are honest enough. They just
saying. No.
keep everything in and then go slide out. I can't tell you how many married men be out here dipping.
Oh, they dipping.
You know,
I can't tell you how many married women out here
Really?
dipping too. I'm just saying.
It's a lot of dipping going on.
oh my
apparently.
god.
Not that I would know. I mean, I'm not.
You said
I'm a
like you
virgin.
knew.
I'm a virgin. I don't mess
child.
with. How does
Lumberjack version right there?
What'd you say?
Say a lumberjack version right there.
How does self-sabotage play a factor in walking away or not walking away? I think people self-sabotage because they want to break up, but they
Mhm.
don't want to be the one that does the breakup. So they just self-sabotage it. So the other person like, fuck this shit. Like, why I'm doing this? I'm breaking up with you.
Or
You know?
worse, it's self-sabotage if you stay in an abusive relationship. You're saying, I don't give a fuck enough about myself in order to not deal with this shit,
Mhm.
whatever this bullshit is.
What do you mean? That's not self-sabotage.
It is. If you're in a
To stay in it?
if you choose to stay in an abusive relationship, you don't value yourself to the
I
point
see
that
what
you
you're saying.
should.
I see what you're saying.
That's a form of self-sabotage.
You're looking at it as self-sabotage amongst their own personal
Yeah, you're not.
bodies or whatnot.
You have to value yourself to know that you don't deserve a motherfucker calling you a bitch every day or whatever.
But I
it
feel
is.
like a lot of us have probably gone through that.
Mhm.
And it took that relationship to make us realize what we were worth at that time. But we didn't recognize it then.
100%.
Yeah, I think self-sabotage. I do think it's easier to. I mean, I can speak from personal experience. Like, it wasn't until I became a little more confident in myself that I became comfortable being the one breaking up with someone. But in the past, like when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I definitely did more things that will ultimately cause
The other
person
person
to
to break up with
decide to
you.
break up with me. Because I didn't want to be that person to break it up. Or maybe
That makes sense.
I wasn't confident enough to have the conversation
Yeah.
to break up with that person, right? And so I would do single-minded shit even though I'm in a relationship.
Mhm.
And man, no one's gonna frustrate her.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And so I just think a lot of people would rather not be the person who does the breaking up. So they self-sabotage it because they cheat
Mhm.
and they cheat very recklessly,
Yeah.
right? Hoping that the breadcrumbs add up
Right.
and then they get a divorce or break up or
I mean,
whatever.
at
case may
that
be.
point, you might as well just say, hey, look, I don't want this. I respect people who are just honest to say, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, like, depending on how deep you are into
Kill
it,
me
though.
with the truth.
Mhm.
I mean it.
Yeah, I don't know. I know for me, is I found it hard to feel like whatever issue I have in the relationship is being communicated effectively, whether it's because I'm not communicating properly or she doesn't listen. But if I can't get that across, then I feel like I'm stuck, and ending it doesn't feel like the way to go, because I feel like we've had this before.
Mhm.
Don't
Maybe.
come back out in the streets. Ain't nothing out here. Make it work.
Don't come back out.
Make it
You know,
work.
I tell
Yeah, no,
people
I'm not
that
talking about my
in
current one.
consultations, I'm like, are these the only issues you have?
Mhm.
Oh, you might want to just fix them.
Mhm.
Do you really realize what you're getting into?
Mhm.
I'm out here, girl. I don't know if you want this.
Yeah. What about family? Right. Let's get to the. We want a
Family.
couple more questions before we can move on. We are having a good conversation, but we're also at 1:22, so we got to keep this thing moving so we can get up out of here. So earlier, Shamika said, for her mental health, she decided to cut people off, and it could be friends, it could be family, and whatnot. So, what about walking away from family? Is there ever a reason to do so? And if so, what would be those reasons to walk away? We're talking about don't walk away or to walk away.
Oh boy,
So, is there ever a reason to walk away from family?
Absolutely.
absolutely.
So
I just walked away from family just recently.
Talk about it.
let's
Talk
hear
about
it.
it.
You ever do a lot for somebody and feel like okay, if you help somebody a lot,
church.
Not the church
this
music.
motherfucker. I just want to read from if you help somebody a lot and you feel like it's kind of stretched you thin in even helping this person,
Mm-hmm.
and then they've never shown any sign of like, okay, I can repay this,
Mhm.
or I can do something for you, and ultimately you're fine with that. You're like, okay, fine, like I get it, your life is wild, so and you be making bad decisions, but I love you, so I'll fucking look out for you or whatever. And then you get to the end of it and you're like, okay, now I actually kind of need something from you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna ask because I'm gonna see what you're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say something stupid, I don't fuck with you no more. Like I just don't. Because not only have I looked out for you to the point where at least like this is the only time I've asked.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
not
get like I get your bullshit.
Yeah.
No, all right. That's enough of you and I. And that's family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's family. That's where I'm at right now.
So you walked away. Sorry.
No,
so
you're
you
good.
walked away from
I
a relationship,
have
that family
distance.
member, because you've been there for them plenty of times, and the one moment you needed them to be there, they weren't there for you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So now there's more distance because obviously, like to me, I look at it like, well, I'm just a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
With you, I'm just somebody to call because you need fucking help.
Yeah.
But you're not actually gonna ever give a
Now,
fuck about my problem.
Was it money related?
In a sense,
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
usually money related.
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah.
So, to be honest with you, I have never felt like I've been super close to my family, both sides.
Mm.
I've always desired that.
Yeah.
So when I did attempt to, have that close knit relationship, it was just too much. It was too much drama. It was a lot of jealousy on both sides. There wasn't any genuineness in relationships. They would compete with each other, and I just didn't see family. So for me, I'd rather focus on what I want to do out of life versus trying to keep up with what my family is doing.
So let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Who would you say is your closest family member to you that you like still actually fuck with?
I have a few cousins that I'm close to, on both sides of my family. My mom and I were really close, but it's been rocky.
Yeah.
Over the years. So I don't have any one person.
Right.
I do have a couple, but out of everybody, I would love to have a relationship with most of my family, but it just won't work out like that.
Yeah, man.
I've never walked away from family members, immediate family members, because of stuff that has happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I have walked away from a side of the family that was disrespectful to my mother. Right? Like my mom was she was adopted.
Mm-hmm.
And even though she knew her biological side of her mother's side, I always felt like my grandmother was a shitty person to her. So I never fuck with him because how she treated my mom.
Yeah.
Right? And so, but I've never walked away from my immediate family. I have created distance between family members and my immediate family because of
there is a difference
of different reasons of things happening in life. But the only reason I would ever walk away from family is the same reason I would walk away from friends, because they have been extremely disrespectful
100%
to me.
100%. And that's my other one. My other one is, and they're sisters, by the way, and they're my siblings as well. But the other one, like, you're not coming to my wedding. I don't ever want to see you in person.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with you because I've seen you disrespect your sister in ways that no person on earth should disrespect your sister. You know what I mean? And you were that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't fuck with you, and I don't think nobody else should.
I did.
So But I don't fuck with both of them right now. Like the other one I'm mad at for another reason, but that one I've been mad at.
See, with me, I'm very forgiving. So I wouldn't mind trying to mend relationships, but one of the common themes I see in both sides of my family is that they don't want to hold one another accountable.
Oh yeah.
Like they rather just sweep everything under the rug.
Yeah.
And I don't get down like that. Like we're gonna sit down,
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
talk
duke it out.
Yeah.
You know, and then we'll love on each other afterwards. But we're gonna get to the bottom of what the issues are.
You gotta communicate.
Absolutely.
My immediate family, I really am a advocate for working through your shit, right? But sometimes family gonna piss you off, and you gotta just take a step back from it and be like, you know what? Right now, I ain't fucking with you. So because I feel some kind of way,
Yeah.
and until you acknowledge it, until I find some peace with it, like I haven't been there. Like I have not talked to my younger sister for almost a year one time because of some family dynamics that I didn't agree with. I felt like she left me hanging or left me in a situation that was not fair, right? But from her perspective, she felt like she didn't do anything wrong, and I gotta respect that. I just chose. I said, you know what? I can't be around you right now.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you gotta make those decisions, and those that's hard. But I always tell people, like, at the end of the day, if you love that person and you care for that person, you should absolutely do your best to try to figure out a way to fix it.
Absolutely.
Right? Especially if it's not something super serious. If it's a disagreement.
But I'm not about to keep asking you to fix the same thing over and over.
That part.
It's
That's
just
true.
not gonna happen.
I agree.
Because I'm willing to fix the things you're asking me to fix.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So I expect that in return in any relationship.
So chapter 3 to this bullshit is my baby sister, who is their youngest sister. She's like become the peacemaker of our family now because she's fucking dope. She's like the dopest member of our family. And she's like, okay, like this one is not as crazy as she used to be. So just send her a text message, let her know that you still care about her or whatever.
Yeah.
And the other one, like she calls me up trying to resolve things with these. And as much as I'm not gonna do that yet, I appreciate, like I love her for that. You know what I mean? Like she's fucking dope.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I just told my two sisters are not talking right now. And it hurts my heart that they're not talking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You just like me about that. I
like,
can't stand it when family don't fuck with family. Like, can we find some kind of common ground?
Yeah.
I get y'all got y'all issues, but can we talk about it? Let's talk about it.
I used to care, but once it started messing with my mental health
100%.
and affecting me, I was just like,
you gotta let it go.
You
gotta let it go.
That has to be the line.
You gotta let it go. So last question, man, because we're at an hour and a half. When do you stay? Instead of walking away, when do you stay, but you're unsure? So I would just say it like this. So I asked the question because I feel like you stay when you see changed behavior, right? You voice your concerns or your perspective, your side. This is the things that you need to see change in order to stay. And if you see changed behavior for over a course of time, then stay. If you put in time, you put in work, I feel like it's better of course, I'm not talking about physical abuse
for sure
or emotional abuse. I'm just talking about like regular relationship shit.
Right.
Like if you see some changed behavior, stay. Right? It's worth if you think you found your person, it's worth, I feel like, to stay. Yeah.
I don't think that type of growth happens in relationships.
Really?
I think when you're in a relationship, you become stagnant as a person.
Like you should
as an individual.
If you don't know balance. I disagree.
So in my experience, and I'm only talking about me, when I've been in relationships, I feel like I have been the same person from the beginning of the relationship to the end of the relationship. Now I grew with this person because the type of person I am, I'm attached to the relationship. Like this is my life now. This me with you type thing. So me solo, how I'm growing by myself, it's not really like happening. You know what I mean? I mean, Obviously, there's some of it. Like in my first relationship, there was a lot more of it because it was a long distance relationship.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like all our lives wrapped up around each other. But as soon as we moved in together,
Yeah.
I didn't grow. Like I stopped growing because I was like, I'm chose.
You got complacent.
You
got
become
complacent.
something I think triggers
or maybe
for more
you
people.
haven't been with someone. Well, now you found your person.
I'm with my
But
fiance now. Yeah.
Before, maybe you weren't with someone who helped get you to that next level. Because to me, relationships should help you get better.
I don't blame her though for that. Like
Okay.
I blame one of my exes, but I don't blame that ex or the one after that. I don't think that they were preventing me. I think she was very good at actually encouraging me.
And maybe the relationship was a distraction for you. Because
Yeah.
I will say
Yeah.
for me, I have continued to grow, but I think I could have got there a lot quicker if I was single. Yes.
Maybe that's what it is. I think relationships can stunt your growth.
I wouldn't say stunt.
Even
I would
if
just
not-
say you have to manage your time better.
Right.
Because
But in your youth,
Yeah.
but you have to learn that. And in your youth,
That's
you
true.
have no idea. So
That's
like
true.
so maybe now I think you can probably grow as much as you want to in a relationship, but
Because
especially
your
in your
person is
like
gonna help you grow.
yeah, in your 20s, y'all just bumping into each other.
Yeah.
I just feel like I also don't want, you got to know your person. Like you don't want to give it somebody who is a super hustler and you're just a laid back kind of person. It's not gonna work because if you're
But
a
they
super
say
hustler,
opposites attract though.
Nah, fuck
not
that shit.
kinda-
listen, man. I got a friend. I tell her all the time, like she's
Hustlers need hustlers.
She's
Is
a
that what y'all
hustler.
saying?
She don't know how to
Absolutely.
She don't know how to sit down, sit around. She just want to keep pushing.
So she
That
gonna
ain't
come
me.
home and be like, nigga,
I-
what did
look,
you do?
I can't
What did
date-
you do today?
You can't date me
Yeah.
because I enjoy sitting my ass in the park on a Saturday, not doing shit. Like I enjoy my weekends, and I don't want to work 7 days a week. I don't want to work from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. I don't want it.
If
Yeah.
she could ask,
Yeah.
what did you do today? And he'd be like, I ain't do nothing. And she's good with that, we good. But a lot, the
Most
hustlers
hustlers
ain't gonna be good with that.
they
They're
ain't
gonna be like,
gonna
no,
be
no,
good
no,
with
you gotta do something.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
more of on the hustler side, I would
Yeah.
have to admit. It's just because I have so many goals that I want to accomplish, and
Which is
I'm
beautiful.
almost 40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not there yet.
How old you are?
I'm 37, sir.
Shout out to what, 2003?
I got
2002.
Yeah,
2002.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
we graduated the
was-
same year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so when do you stay? I always like to do like a pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's basic, but at the end of the day, like,
Pros outweigh the cons.
absolutely.
I mean, I agree. Like even, yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that at all.
And I think a lot of people, like from the divorce side, when people come to me, they're like, "Oh, I'm ready to get back out here," and I try to help them. Like, you've been married for a while, like
Long time.
you don't know.
A
you're
lot
doing.
has changed, bro.
Yeah,
A
and
lot
then
has changed.
they think they're missing out on something. Like, you have it great. You have your person. Y'all might have issues, but everybody does. Even though they don't put it out on Facebook and on Instagram, they're
Mhm.
going through things too.
The grass ain't always greener.
It's not. It really is.
Hey, man. At the end of the day, you got to do what works best for yourself. Just weigh your options, think about it, talk about it, go to a counseling, talk to your lawyer. I'm playing. Go talk to your lawyer about it. But just don't just be so quick to leave.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, whether it's relationships, work, your friendships, your family, do what feels right in your soul.
We didn't really talk about
Absolutely.
friendships.
I mean, we can do it really quickly.
When is it time to end your friendships? When is it time to kick a motherfucker off your friends list on Facebook?
So like I said earlier, the only time when it comes to social media, I feel like this. First of all, everyone that's on your social media ain't your friend,
Absolutely.
right?
What you
And
talking
so-
about? They all my friends.
So my
I love
thing,
all of them.
one thing that I started doing, like I pay attention to the people who troll on my posts,
Really?
because if they troll on your posts, they really don't like you.
Wait, when you say troll,
They
you
troll.
mean
You done a serious post, and they come in there and do
They say something.
They make a
negative.
jab at you.
They say
make a
something
jab
negative about
about
the
something
post.
negative.
Okay.
Oh, you trolling?
Oh,
Okay,
I don't have
you know what I
that.
mean. But
That
so if
was
they
not
troll,
what I do.
I remove them. If
Okay.
I fuck with everybody. So if I don't fuck with you, I mean you got some negative energy.
Hmm.
You always complaining, or you're talking negative about men, talking negative about women. Like we got to remember that when it comes to social media, we are the leaders of our timeline.
Mhm.
Our timeline shows only what we allow or what we clicked on, what we've commented on.
Right.
So if you're only seeing negative stuff, then you've chose that. So if you don't want to see it anymore, you remove it. But when it comes to my in-person, real-life friendships, again, like I said, you have to really disrespect me. I have to feel disrespected on some level for me to say, you know what, I really can't fuck with you no more because you keep talking that. So my biggest thing,
and Jay is a good communicator.
My biggest thing
you can
is
talk shit out with Jay.
When I feel like you don't, it's hard to say this.
Well, let's talk about.
Don't talk about my character.
Yeah, let's talk about.
When I feel like you talk, you take lies or you say something untrue about my character.
Yeah,
that's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah,
like there's no
vehemently untrue. You know it's not true.
It's not
you saying that shit like it's real.
It's not coming back. You're not coming back from that.
Yeah,
like I'm a pretty forgiving person. Not gonna forgive you, but I'm not gonna forget.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like I wouldn't do that to you. Like if I ever tell someone something about Shamika behind your back, it's gonna be something I can tell you to your face.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be based on facts.
Mm-hmm.
It's never gonna be like, well, Shamika be doing cocaine, she be doing crack. You know, it ain't gonna be like that. But then this is that's for me. So that's where I stand on it.
Yeah, the Black Paul Bunyan has spoken.
when do you walk away from
Mine
friendships?
Is the same with accountability, and it's weighing too heavy on my mental. Like I have we're not friends right now, but it's been on and off again since we were kids, and love them dearly, her and her kids. But it's just like sometimes it's so draining that it feels better to just stay away.
Yeah. And you got a wild gig.
I
can't imagine being drained at work.
I need people around me that's gonna fill me back up when I'm with them. So if you're taking from me too, I just can't do it. It's too much.
Yeah,
it's too much.
Remy, when do you walk away from your friendships?
As soon as I get threatened with violence.
Oh,
it has to get to violence for you to walk away from a
pretty
friendship.
much. I mean, because that's how. Okay, so that's how it is with dudes. With women, I don't.
So you would still fuck with me if I was talking shit about you to other people, and you got wind of it. Come on, let's be real for a second.
I don't know. It depends.
I don't think you
I'll
would.
Say this. If I think if it's
fun, we homies.
No. If it's funny, if you talking shit about me and it's funny and I hear about it, like if you making a joke about me or something, it really depends on how heavy it is. I think I haven't experienced that. I think I've never had somebody say something completely slanderous about me that I wasn't like, no, that's true though. Like, you know what I mean? Like for me, if I hear it, I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. That's
again, it's based on facts though.
Yeah.
Facts about, we all have quirks.
Yeah.
We all have quirks about ourselves, right? If someone said, if I heard from so-and-so, you know, Jay be leaving events without saying bye because he don't have to go through all the goodbyes. I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Like I don't want to do that shit no more all the time.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
But if someone say some outrageous stuff, like, come on, man. Ain't no way in the world. But
y'all know Jay be fucking elephants, right? Like, what? No, not Jay. I ain't heard that.
All right, man.
About that elephant that trampled that woman?
She was in India. I heard about it.
It was a 70-year-old woman.
The
elephant trampled that woman to death.
Oh my God.
And then came back later for her funeral. What? And trampled all of that shit again.
Did she come back to the funeral? He came
back to the funeral and was like, I'm not done, bitch.
You know what that was her ex-husband reincarnated. That was a reincarnated.
That was some shit. That was some drama. That elephant was her ex-husband reincarnated.
That was recent.
He's like, bitch, you divorced me and took everything.
I'm coming back for your ass. Hey, Remy, man. It's time to get into method lessons. Hey, method message, man. That's great topic. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear your advice on what you would do as well. Let me find a clip though before you click it though. Let me find it. I know you already clicked it, but I don't have it.
Hey, we do this every Wednesday. Did you know that?
Every Wednesday.
Did you know we did this every Wednesday?
I didn't know it was every Wednesday.
Let's get on with this school bag. You teach.
All right, so this is a segment where we talk about something we learned most recently.
Okay.
And I think you'll be awesome at this one because I feel like you be learning shit like all the time.
Really?
I think you like learning.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
So I'll go first because
It's your motherfucking segment.
all I do is learn. Like literally, learning is my favorite thing to do, except when I'm at work. I don't like learning at work. So I left the house the other day, and I came across my neighbor, who's an elderly Hispanic woman. She's dope. I like her. She's really nice. And so while I was having a conversation with her, we noticed a spider web like up on the lights next to her condo or whatever. And so she says to me, she said, just so you know, that means that we're both about to come into some money. We saw that.
Okay.
And I was like, what you mean? She was like, in Catholicism, that's something that we believe. And I was like, oh, that's dope.
And Latino
I
culture?
guess, yeah. I think she based it in Catholicism. I think it's her Catholic roots, but maybe it has to do with her Hispanic roots as well.
Yeah,
I can't be certain, but she says, and I've been seeing them things all week. So obviously, I'm about to get rich.
You about to be a millionaire.
Listen, do you know how many gallons of gas I'm gonna have after this? Are y'all ready? Listen,
I'm gonna need a couple.
I'm not. I don't know if I'm gonna share.
I mean you are driving to Atlanta.
Listen. Gallons of gas is the newest cryptocurrency, and it's
it's ridiculous.
Y'all hear about the other cryptocurrencies that's down? By the way, Ethereum is at like 1,000.
It's been crashing for like a month.
Bitcoin is 20,000.
I don't even check anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have much, so I don't even check.
Yeah. So
those are the things that I learned.
I learned this week how amazing Amazon Prime is when you actually purchase Amazon Choice. I think it's called Amazon Choice. Yes.
What's that?
Amazon Choice products.
Okay.
So are you Amazon Prime member?
I'm not.
How are you surviving without Amazon Prime?
She's like, I go to the store.
Are you Amazon Prime member? Yeah, Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
All right. So everyone knows that Amazon Prime, like you have like music, you have TV, you have a lot of stuff,
TV shows,
and you have free 1-day shipping as well. But this morning, I woke up, I ordered a camera, and I ordered a tripod at 5:30 a.m. Amazon Choice. It gave me the option of arriving between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. No, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Same day. You know what time it got to me? 8 a.m.
Wow.
That's
8
awesome.
a.m. I was like, what universe am I living in? Because this is not.
Did you leave
happening.
a tip? Did you tip somebody? I feel like you got to tip somebody for that type of service.
I was like, how do I order it at 5:30 and get it by 8:30?
Yeah.
I don't know what wizardry that Amazon is on right now, but it is crazy.
You got the early bird special.
But so basically, with Amazon Prime, if you order those Amazon Choice, so they have products, I guess they purchase bulk of or whatnot, that they have stored, I'm assuming, in the warehouse somewhere.
Okay.
So when you order the Amazon Choice material or products, they get it to you sooner. But it wasn't always like that, though. So all I'm saying is, if you don't have Amazon Prime, you like
I'm not getting it today.
Not today.
Where you get your Amazon stuff from?
I purchased stuff on Amazon, but it's just not Prime.
It's taking you 7 days to get it.
You know, I'm still waiting.
You just wait for it. You just wait for it.
I literally see. I'm developing patience.
That's a good way to develop some goddamn patience. I couldn't imagine.
She got that. Look, bro, I canceled my Amazon Prime one year.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm cutting back on everything because I want to save money.
Yeah.
I canceled my Amazon Prime. Then I ordered something. And it said 5 days. I was like, hold up.
Yeah.
I'm tripping. I'm
like,
sorry.
how am I supposed to survive in this
sorry.
economy with these circumstances?
Yeah.
I need everything right now.
I'm gonna get it back.
Everything is an emergency.
You got any comments over there?
I don't need it.
You don't need it.
Man.
So what you learned this week, Shamika? Anything, or not just a week, just in general, since it's your first time coming on the podcast.
In general.
Can be any lesson you learned that you want to share.
I'm going to be honest. I told you guys that I am digging deep into our history, our Black history.
Hey.
And I'll have to say, I don't know if the guy's on. I know this guy in the Tampa Bay area. He mentioned Mansa Musa to me, and I was like, who is that?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know who Mansa Musa was, but basically he was the richest black man on earth. And it made me just want to dig deep because, like you said earlier, we didn't learn this stuff in school. So right now I'm in Africa. I'm going to Africa this August.
Nice.
I'm going to Kenya, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can.
Okay.
With the queens and things like that. So Kemet, I had never heard of Kemet
Oh wow.
or anything like that. So I say that to say that there are so many things that I'm being exposed to that I didn't know before. I'm just excited to learn about it. And what I'm most excited about, if I'm honest, I feel like this is going to make me feel more proud to be a black woman.
100%.
Because
Makes sense.
we owned everything. Like, we had our own civilization over there. Like, literally, we were smart. We had it going on. And you don't see it over here. We're the bottom of the barrel. Not a lot of us are at the top.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
To learn about our history, to see where we came from, I think I'm going to stand a little bit more, tall.
Absolutely. I love learning about history of our people and my own roots. I've dug deep into my genealogy.
Really? Do you know what tribe?
I don't know the tribe yet, but I am mostly Nigerian. But I have not done I haven't done the African DNA testing.
Okay.
But I watch finding your roots, and I just enjoy that stuff as well. So good for you that you're gonna do that and find out more about
and
history.
And that's what I purchased books off of Amazon. I'm still waiting on them.
One last time, Remy, on the camera.
So hopefully they come soon.
I think it will. So before we got one last segment, but where can people, just as a refresher, reach out to Shamika? What's your social?
Shamika the fun girl, the non-lawyer, or Shamika the lawyer?
That's up to you. I feel like they all in here tonight.
I mean, if it's
like
a single chocolate man out there, if you want to.
Why he gotta be chocolate though?
I told you I like chocolate.
You are really limiting your pool when you
I like what I like.
Ain't you a chocolate man though?
No,
I am not chocolate.
He is not chocolate.
I'm a white chocolate man.
You are.
He's closer to you.
White chocolate.
He's closer to you. I'm sorry.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Like chocolate, I mean, put what you want in the universe.
That's
put
right.
What you want. That's what we talked about on Size Matters. Put what you want out in the universe.
You know what? Fuck you, Answer. You ain't gonna talk about it. So the last thing I learned. No, I'm joking. What can I find the socials?
So the personal social media is Healed, HEALED _
Red Bottoms. Yeah.
And then the professional business side, Shamika, is Ask You Law Office.
Slide in the DM. All right. So the last thing I learned that possums, in fact, do not play dead. They actually pass out from fear of their predators.
Really?
Yes, that is a fact.
Oh wow!
So you hear like play dead like a possum?
I just saw a TikTok and a girl was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a possum in my bed." Did you? You're always on TikTok.
That.
Okay,
I didn't see that one. No.
Yeah, it went viral. It has like 3 million views.
So yeah, possums don't play dead. They actually don't play dead. People say play dead like a possum. They actually don't play dead. They're actually passing out.
Wow.
From fear.
That's
of their predators.
Fear.
They are giant. They are giant pussies. They're like, I can't handle it. Oh my god. Not today. Please no.
They scary looking too. I remember I had a possum on my porch once.
I damn near pass out when I see a possum.
Yeah, for real.
For real. You ugly as fuck.
Ugly as fuck, man. All right, man.
I came out of work one day, like my old job, the first job I got here, and I'm working till like fucking 8-9 p.m. I go outside on the way to my car, and this ugly ass possum. It's ugly ass possum. Ain't got no business being at the office.
Are there cute possums?
No, not at all.
I haven't seen one.
Oh, okay.
There's got to be at least one. Maybe when they're babies. You know, maybe when they're babies. No, the baby's ugly too. The whole all the possums are ugly. All right,
they got cute baby possums. All right, let's get into unnamed artists, man.
All right,
final segment.
I can't believe my folks have stayed with me
because it's good conversation.
I mean, it's all 4 of y'all.
All right, unnamed artists, man. Unnamed artists. This is the last segment, all right? And I have to say that Facebook might not like this segment because I'm playing music from other people. So they may mute this part. And if they do, you just need to go over to a Method Music playlist on Spotify to hear the songs, or go to the podcast and watch the final part. I'm going to play 3 songs. All you got to do is vibe out. I'm going to play for about a minute.
Oh, I can vibe.
About a minute
Okay.
and 5 seconds to see how the song makes you feel. After the 3 songs are played, you vote on what song you think deserves to be the champion.
Okay.
Simple enough.
Got this.
No guessing is needed. So this first song is the champion from last week. This song is called Call. Song number 1. Remember that?
I do.
I called it a light-skinned song last week.
I need a chocolate song next.
We could have been so fly. We could have been so high. We could have been top 5.
Hey.
Could have made dogs cry.
Hey.
Now everything's different. Side effects of loving with no intention, no regrets. But tell me where my friend went. A part of me is missing. Look, I know you want a real nigga, and I want you in the worst way. Tired of playing games, tired of making plans that never work out. Cause all of the doubt. Is it too late to turn around? Do we go down every route? Maybe I should call. Can't even talk for good reason. You're all that I'm needing. So lost.
All right, that is song number 1. That is a champion from last week. The song is called Call. How'd that song feel to you, Shamika?
It was nice.
It's a vibe. Remember, you still liking it?
I like it.
Still liking it? All right, here's challenger number 2. This song is called Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa. Song number 2. Challenger number 2.
Baby, follow my command, like zombie. Go down on me, oh, with your coca body. Follow my command, like zombie. Go down on me with your coca body. Cause this your milky for front enough for me. Hold on for me, I no go to me corny. And if you're milky na fighty, I saw me to look. Gelato honey, oh baby, smile, deep. Baby, kona. Waka when you enter my licha.
It's the vibe. I like this one.
Baby, kona. Will you give me sugar? Wala. Macho Mona Lisa.
All right, that is challenger number 1. Song number 2. Is it better than song number 1?
Yes.
Oh, she's saying yes already. Okay. All right. We'll see. This last song, it's kind of a vibe.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all gonna fuck with it like I do. It's called Two Freaks.
Oh.
Two Freaks.
Stupid ass little boy.
I know 2, 3 freaks in the party. I ain't tryna hurt nobody. No, I ain't tryna hurt nobody. 2, 3 freaks in the party right now. I ain't tryna hurt nobody right now. No. I know 2, 3 freaks in the party right now.
Don't be looking over here, Reg. Remy.
Nobody right now. Hey, not at all. Step in like Snoop. And my kid folk them yelling whoop. Her brown skin thing looking like she know the school. She ain't know who I was. I had AMs back in school. Hormones jumping like the ball speakers. No video. She probably ain't supposed to be here. I miss my emotions.
Song number 3.
I ain't clutching the hair. You know I'm too much for anything. They be ducking them features. So I feel like love is in there. I took a puff and took a dare. I grabbed my cup and gave her a hug. We busting the back like I care. Hold up, I think I know this one more freak. I flew through her mascara. She was crying because she thought I was about to slap with her best friend.
What'd you say?
I think that's a Detroit
I
artist
can see
too.
that.
I think it is.
That is song number 3.
They got another song that I do.
Challenger number 2. That song is called Two Freaks. I just love the West Coast beat. That Crip Walk beat.
The beat is fire.
All right, it's time to vote.
That's
It's
what
time
I'm
to
hearing,
vote.
nigga.
It's time to vote. It's time to vote.
Where do I
Song
vote?
number right here on the microphone. Song number
okay.
1, song number 2, or song number 3.
2 all day.
Shamika is going with song number 2.
Yeah.
Remy, who you going with?
I too would be going with song number 2.
Are you going with number 2 because you actually like it, or you're just trying to agree with our guest?
I wouldn't just agree with our guest. That's not you. You know my rules. I'm not voting for the champion.
The
And
champion only won 1 week in a row.
For the champion,
You gotta give him at least 2 weeks.
I'm not giving the champion no weeks.
Wow.
Number 2. I wasn't feeling number 3. I feel like it started good,
like
and
the
obviously
beat. That's
Snoop is
about
gonna do
it.
his thing.
The beat go hard.
They should have just played Snoop's verse.
All right, so I think we are frozen again, but that's okay. I think we got 2. I think people like number 2. I mean, number 2 is a vibe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. Let's go ahead and finish this thing out, man. Final thoughts. Anything you want to end the podcast on? Anything you want to say? Anything at all?
I just appreciate you guys for inviting me. Doing podcasts for a while. Ever since I've met you, and I just you inspire me to keep going in this, lane of posting and just being consistent, being present.
It is definitely.
I'm proud.
A lot of work.
But you're doing it.
I'm glad that you came on.
Absolutely. Thanks for the invite.
Enjoyed having you on here. A Method Podcast, man. We're just trying to grow. We are growing.
I was going to say you are growing.
We are growing. We had our biggest episode last week.
Nice.
But week before last.
That wasn't the size matter.
It was.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, everyone
last
loved.
week.
Oh.
Last week was
That was week before last.
Okay.
Last week was this versus that episode, and week before that was size matters.
Okay.
But yeah, so thank you for coming on for sure.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully you enjoyed yourself.
I did.
Remy, you got final thoughts? Quickly.
Okay. I think our lives are too dynamic and independent for men and women to thrive together.
You think our lives are too independent for women?
Too dynamic and independent. Like, we all want very specific things now, and we all are about our own shit.
Mm.
And with that being said, I think relationships demand simplicity. So if you single, it's over for you.
What?
It's over for y'all.
No,
Everybody
it's
is
not.
chose already. Everybody got chose already.
I didn't feel like it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of feel
That's
like
why. That's why dating sucks so bad, because everybody's like, I need this motherfucking exact. No, ain't no more exacts. All the exacts.
I will have to say that I'm looking for perfection, and I have to remind myself I'm not perfect. So I'm trying
100%.
to.
I went on 4 dates with one woman.
Oh, nice. That was
Hold
the
the thought. Hold on.
sculpting thing y'all did, or
Yes.
okay.
Turns out she just wants to casually date, which is fine. But tell me that in the
just
beginning.
means going on dates, casually dating.
I don't even think she knows
doesn't
what
want
it
anything
means.
serious.
Well,
She don't
maybe
want
she
anything
didn't know
serious.
until the 4th date. Maybe
Here's
it took.
No, she knew.
She knew.
She knew.
Tell me that the very first date, because here's the thing, I can place you in the box that you want to be in, but
you know
until
she knew?
I'm gonna tell you how I knew she knew. Because most women know who they want. They're just waiting until that person becomes available.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
I don't disagree.
And I think men are like that too. We're all trying to get to that person who we really want. And sometimes who you want doesn't want you.
they ain't never gonna come around.
Wow.
But anyway, I had to have a tough conversation about it. I just told her, like, look, here's the thing. I fuck with you, but I got some red flags. And I'm kind of not okay with it. So
was that the Google Voice girl? I saw someone
Yes.
post. Okay.
I was like, you know what? This is not going to work out. But you cool people. But I'm looking for a little bit more.
Right.
But she's like, yeah, I'm kind of, I respect you for that. I'm definitely
4 dates though?
4 dates.
I would have known after the first. Oh,
So-
this guy, I went on one date. He texted me and he wanted to date a lot.
But we have a good time together though. So it's not.
texted me,
So
he
that's
said
some
it's
good
not
dates.
gonna
She was gonna
work.
get all them dates.
She was going to try.
She was like, I'm
gonna
gonna get all these goddamn dates.
See, no, I don't do that. I pay for myself.
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
gonna have you listen.
So anyway, dating's trash.
It's not trash.
No, I have a good time. It's all about your. Anyway, I'm not going back into it. Every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch.
At A Method Podcast.
Yes.
Method Podcast.
If
Follow
you
that
want to
shit.
catch the post product
Share that
of this,
shit.
you can find it on the video on Spotify. The
Spotify.
video is only on Spotify. The audio is going to be on iTunes, Amazon, everywhere, Anchor, you name it, it's there. We appreciate y'all. We are grown. We can't grow without y'all. Until next week, man. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
I like it.